working. I'm breaking my neck over here. Okay. Yeah, breaking my neck over here. Okay, looks like it's working. Let's make sure. Yeah, looks like audio's good. Cool, cool, cool. Wait a minute. See if we get anyone coming in. But we shall see. We shall see. This is my justification for putting these two topics together is Christian's kind of like I got the Christian by like the later part of my internet browsing. And this is more like where I ended up. But before this, I was mainly enjoying like angry reviewers. That was my thing. I was probably I might have been too old for this, by some standards. So I was in high school when I learned about Channel Awesome, and I love this shit so much. That and My Little Pony. That was my thing. And there was a little bit of intersection actually, which was just kind of funny. Oh, it looks like we got some viewers here. So, might just jump right into the Christian. I don't know. This is what happens when you stay on the internet too long. But originally learned about Christian from a podcast thing called Let Me Tell You About. A lot of the things that they got were wrong, but it was very entertaining. And then I moved on to Down the Rabbit Hole, which I think is how a lot of people got into it. Then eventually, of course, I found the comprehensive history. I am so behind on that. I'm like so many episodes behind on that. But just in case if you don't know who Christian is, and I will be calling him a dude. Uh, think he said it was okay because technically he now goes by Christine. So just for like ease of understanding, I'm just gonna call him Chris. Yeah, no, this was wild. He was arrested in what was it, like 20 was it around like 2019? 2020? I don't remember 2021. When was he arrested? Because this is old footage. It's just they've just gotten when was he arrested? Okay, Trish Chan arrest. Because he got arrested in 2021. And I don't know if you don't know why Christian got arrested. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be the one who's gonna break that to you. Uh, but he is a very old internet personality who got trolled very, very hard because he kept on feeding the trolls, which you are never supposed to do. He made a little. He wanted a girlfriend, and he kept on making comics about Sonichu, which is just Sonic plus Pikachu put together, and he made this in high school. And then he made a bunch of comics for it. And then to show women that he was mature, he put them in like adult situations that they really shouldn't have been in because it was also meant to be like a kids comic. And then some of these trolls, oh yeah, and then the trolls discovered him. And they messed with him in various ways. The most fun one was when Liquid Chris, who was like an impersonator of him, and they do like little singing competitions. That was mostly innocent and fun. But there was a lot of other people, like I think it was the idea guys that convinced Chris that he is a goddess and that the Sonichu universe is real and all this stuff. Yeah, his stint in jail was interesting. No, yeah, he thinks he's Jesus. Currently, he thinks he's Jesus. There's so much to get into with him. I might maybe we'll go over like the down the rabbit hole, but that one's outdated before he got even worse. But let's just go through this, and maybe I'll explain a little bit more about his lore.
Is there anybody else in the room?
Let me know if the audio is good.
No.
Oh God.
Don't.
Followers. Yeah, those are trolls
It's real. Oh my
Is
God,
that?
what is this?
I think okay. The we did have footage of Christian being recorded before, and it was from someone named Ethan Oliver Ralph, who has his own like internet history, and I believe is now in Mexico or something because he had to like flee. There's so much weird internet. Just everyone around Christian's freaking crazy.
This.
I am Christian Sanchu, your goddess blue heart.
Yeah. Okay. So he thinks so. Sonichu is not just a character. Sonichu is both a character and a species, and he thinks that he can turn into a Sonichu, and he thinks he's a goddess related to like the Dimension Neptunia series. I think he thinks he's like the Commodore 64 or something. It's I don't know. It might just be a mobile thing. I don't know. It's weird.
It's happening now. We're on the very last thread.
Okay, okay, and the dimensional merge. I guess I should. I'm gonna restart this a little bit, but the dimensional merge is he thinks that every fictional universe is real, and that they will collide with the real world, and it'll be like a rapture, end of the world type thing, and he will be the final like goddess thing. It's freaking weird.
Is there anybody else in the room? Wait,
Spirit, well, interdimensionally, you
No.
can't tangibly see them.
Nothing.
I'm assuming he thinks it's Magichan or something.
Don't.
Follower. Yeah, those are trolls. They're following me from the internet. Do not report this.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, what is this?
I am Christian Sanchu, your
These
goddess
poor
blue
cops.
heart. Okay. It's happening now. We're on the very last thread.
What?
Oh my gosh.
They're everywhere. I don't mean that.
Oh,
We're
all the
surrounded.
internet
What
people?
began as a
Yeah.
routine arrest on August 1st, 2021 in Henrico, Virginia, quickly spiraled into a surprising spectacle in the parking lot of a Regency Inn hotel.
Was it ever going to
The
be
focus
normal?
of the
Freaking
unexpected
Chris.
attention was internet personality known as Chris Chan. This never-before-seen footage was obtained and first released by Iwu, and reveals a
Congratulations,
behind-the-scenes
man.
look at the day that took thousands of online observers by storm.
What the heck is going on right now?
Yeah, that's Ralph. That's Ralph in the
It's all the
background.
service I've ever been on.
As
Yeah,
officers with the Henrico County Police Department cautiously approach the second-floor hotel room, they prepare themselves in case a possible altercation waits for them behind the door.
She's right here.
Okay.
Oh, gotta unlock it. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, what's your
Oh
name?
my gosh.
Hi, I'm Christine Chandler.
Okay, can you come out for a second?
What's the situation?
What's that?
There's
Yeah,
he's wearing a Sonichu and Rosachu shirt. I guess someone like that's like fan art because he can't draw that well. Him and like Linkara's art is on the same level
right.
basically.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
You're not gonna
Have you seen my
You're not gonna
Lightbringer
do that.
reviews?
Do not bite. You will get tased.
Okay, well,
Imagine
listen,
if Chris
I
got
reply by
tased.
one.
That'd be
I'd like
great.
to clear up my. I'd like to come back to my things.
I don't know if that would be great. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll get all straight.
I mean, he did like assault someone in a GameStop because of he said that he he really likes Sonic, if that isn't obvious by like creating Sonichu. And during Sonic Boom, they changed Sonic's arms from tan to blue. I kind of actually like that look better, but Chris was very angry about this, so he maced a GameStop employee while he was like trying to like put like weird covers replacing the arm color of Sonic.
And what about my van? And I'd like to put my shoes on, please.
Yeah, sure, of course. We'll get there.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I can slip into my shoes. Magichan, Chriselle, Savannah.
While these words may seem insignificant to the officers,
It's
they
always
carry a
imaginary
profound
friends.
significance for Chris, which will be explained later.
Yeah. Forget if he's married to all of them or if one of them's supposed to be his kid.
Okay,
Just hang tight.
The officers have received reports of some very disturbing allegations against Chris, but nothing prepares them for the events that
Hello.
are about to unfold.
Sit down right here.
Okay, I will sit down.
Okay.
My shoes
Where are your
right.
shoes?
I mean,
Right here?
nowadays when going into a GameStop, I'm just assaulted by the onslaught of Funko Pops. That's how I get assaulted in GameStop.
Right over there.
Is there anyone else in the room with you?
Uh,
Is there anybody else in the room?
Spirit, well, interdimensionally, you
Yeah.
can't tangibly see them.
Okay.
Is there a physical person in the room with you?
Oh, and he has
Originally
Sonic
from
shoes
this
too, of course.
universe, no.
Okay, good.
I need to stand
Oh,
for
God.
shoes. I don't have any easier time doing this. I am
These poor
compliant.
officers have no idea what's
That's
going on.
That's my set of keys over
I know.
there.
Your keys to your car?
Keys to the van, and yeah, my wallet's in my bag over there, the brown bag.
Oh gosh. They're making a game of Doom? The shit? Huh.
What, this bag?
Yes.
Can I look in it?
And you grab something. Oh, that's one of my rings.
I know.
Funko Salt.
Can I
Yeah,
get your
yeah,
bag
perfect.
out of your...
Perfect way
I
to
have
describe
nothing
that.
to hide. Go ahead and look through everything
That in like
that's in the room.
every
Go ahead
comic
and look at
store.
everything that's in the room.
Go ahead. You have my permission.
Okay.
Just slip them on. They're gonna give you flip flops when you get down to the jail.
Okay, fair enough.
I identify as female, and I would appreciate
Did
if I
they
was respected as such.
say
It even
opposite?
says so on my driver's license, female.
Okay.
Just making sure.
As one officer searches through Chris's belongings, he quickly makes an interesting discovery.
Where's
What
your
is it?
wallet at?
Oh,
Don't come over here.
It's the duct tape. The duct tape wallet.
Okay.
Of course he has a duct tape
Here it
wallet.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does it look like it's burnt or something? What the hell?
Okay.
Guess it's just like fraying or something?
No, grab a seat right there for me.
I guess they're blurring his ID.
You want all this to go with you? Like your wallet? Or you just want your ID to go with you and your cell phone?
What are the other pictures on his backpack? What are those buttons?
There in front of the tarot deck
Oh, one of
box.
them's
Yeah,
Pinkie
I got
Pie.
a cell phone
Okay.
right here.
Oh, that's my secondary phone.
That's your secondary phone?
Yeah, I have two phones. One for the trolls and one for my home. I got two phones. One for the boys
You
and
can't.
one for my friends. You think I need
I
two
swear,
phones?
I swear, every single thing there'll be like some intersection. Oh, let me like this before I forget. There's always some type of intersection with My Little Pony. We're everywhere. We're sleeper agents.
Song.
Yeah, Kevin Gates.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hey, listen to this. He's a guy.
Nah, that's a popular one.
What?
He's a fine gentleman.
It is popular.
Suddenly, a keen-eyed officer spots something happening outside,
Oh
which
my
sets him
gosh.
on edge.
Are you waiting for somebody to come to your room or something?
Wow. No, I was not. I was only waiting for.
I wonder if we can hear when they're yelling at him to go to
deputy that I
church.
talked with earlier today from the sheriff's office in Ruckersville.
Okay. All right. You're not waiting for like anybody else though? Any friends or anything?
I have nobody else.
The only reason I'm
Oh
asking
my
is 'cause
gosh,
there's
he has the plushie of his pony OC in the background, bro.
there and there's two gentlemen staring at us.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know if you were waiting for someone to come over or whatever.
Yeah, see?
I think that one's just called Blue Heart.
It's a
I'm not as familiar with his brony era.
I was not waiting.
They're standing up there by the gas station. You know those people?
That's curious.
I'm just asking. I don't want anyone rolling up on me.
While
Surprised he
Chris
doesn't
doesn't
immediately say
recognize the
trolls.
strangers gathering to watch them from a distance, there may be a reason for their unnerving presence.
Okay, well, I would say question them because
That's one way to describe them.
I am famous and infamous on the internet, so they may be video recording.
And they are. They are, actually.
So,
I'm recording you as well.
If you want to see that side of the arrest, let me know, and I can pull that up too.
Not readily accepting Chris's explanation, the officers try to work out their own alternate explanation.
How are
for
they
the
in Virginia
curious
and not know who
spectators.
Chris Chan
Yeah, they
is?
still are.
there is nothing illegal in the room and nothing illegal in the bag. Please, feel free. I have nothing
It's
to
got a
hide.
very military style haircut. I wonder if it's Greene County.
Oh, God, no.
Doris? Maybe it's a rental.
Yes, no.
That would be something Greene County.
I mean, I know there's a lot of agencies that use rentals.
You think
for
that it's a
surveillance.
cop?
I mean, like,
They're not cops,
staring.
man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked her because it's considered. I think he's there all the time. It's still like, right as we walk up. I didn't see him there before.
They shrug it off for now, but it will soon become apparent that these observers have surprising
I wish I could
intentions
see
that none
see
of the
that a little
officers
better.
could have predicted.
So you talked to the sheriff's
How
office?
do none of these officers
today?
know who
Yes.
Chris
Did
Chan
they
is?
call you or did you reach out to them?
I reached out to them. I wanted to make sure my dog and cats back at home were safe and taken care of.
Okay.
I guess, so the warrant itself is not a surprise. You know there was an investigation, all that.
Yes,
You're
there
good.
was an yes, I am
Okay.
aware of the
They
situation.
can reveal in this video
Did
what he
they
got
say that they
arrested
were
for,
coming
because
to
I don't want to
Richmond?
say it.
Yes, they said they were coming to Richmond. And my vehicle, in case it wasn't obvious, is the blue Dodge Caravan out there.
Yeah.
Its license plate says Sanchi on it.
Okay, I don't think
Magichan
that's...
Sonichu, a blend of the characters Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog, is a character from Chris's hand-drawn graphic novel
Oh
series.
my gosh.
Sonichu may be more than
Okay, so it's got like a little trans flag. I should know what this is, I think. Is this just... Don't remember if this is his own thing. It almost looks like Twilight's thing a little bit, but I don't... But not quite. I don't know what this is.
than just a drawing, however, as you'll soon hear from Chris.
Yeah, no, there are more dangerous individuals in the world than Chris. But I'm just surprised that none of the cops just like in their off time know who he is. I guess, if that makes sense. Especially when there's been like already other incidents of like things that have escalated into having to call the cops with Chris.
How this character blurs the line between fiction and reality.
So just so you're aware, right now we're just confirming the warrant through Greene County, okay? That's why I said you're detained. Once they say that once they say the paper's in hand,
I wonder if
the
just
actual arrest
I
warrant, then
like
you're gonna
to
be under arrest,
imagine that
okay?
there's one guy who like knows and he's just not gonna tell the others because he doesn't want to like seem weird.
Okay. Well, you didn't at first, but I'm glad you did.
It caught me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, that was kind of the point a little bit.
Meanwhile,
Oh
the
yeah, don't
evolving
you have like a birthday party to go to? Thanks for stopping by though, Snowy. I appreciate it.
situation outside still has the officers on high alert.
Still Sarah?
Yeah.
You want to go up there?
No, because I can't tell if they're just recording or...
They're recording, yeah.
I wish I could read the tag.
That's one.
What tag? What's the tag
I'll just
called?
stare back at them.
Yeah?
I need a moment.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Pardon my flatulence.
So do you want to take your necklaces off and stuff like that, or?
You're gonna take them off.
Gonna have
Yeah,
to
you gotta
take
them
off
when you get
that
to the jail.
Okay, but the
Since they're not, the only thing they will allow are like crosses for like religion.
okay, well, if I'm
Can-
to speak, the
Can you say that the Sonichu medallion is like a religious symbol? Can Chris keep it if it's a religious symbol?
Sonichu shaped medallion, the big yellow thing.
Considering that he thinks that he's... Holy shit, what happened to the medallion? It's like all moldy now? Yeah. I know he's had multiple, but...
At the bottom there, that is my cross. So
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know
yeah,
if they'll
exactly,
allow-
because he thinks it's a religion. Because he thinks that he's a goddess, and it all has to do with Sonichu. I don't know.
That one.
it's my it
I think-
protects me greatly. So
I think it
that-
has to be
I am
a
willing to
recognized
take off
religion,
the other
Chris.
two, but I really need the medallion.
Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know that when you get down to the jail, if you go to jail,
I sincerely
once the
doubt
warrants
that
are
let him keep it.
confirmed, that you may not be able to keep it. Okay. Just letting you know.
All right, but that is my cross.
Okay.
Let that go on the record. The
Uh.
Sonichu medallion.
Yeah, Officer Christian will tell him.
Back outside, the situation appears
But there's an Officer Christian. Christian Weston Chandler getting arrested by Officer Christian is kind of great.
to be escalating, and officers are caught in
Ah,
a
you can
dilemma
barely
about
see-
how to handle it.
You can barely see him.
Go up there and see what they're doing. Like,
After this, I'm totally gonna show you the other side, I
want to
guess.
address them, but at the same time, they can kind of do that, but they're not obstructing at this point.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just throw the pots. You know what I mean? We just need to. We can just
Okay.
go about our day. My heart's telling me too, because I want to. But at the end of the day,
I know. Sassy Nick wants to, but...
What?
Said Sassy Nick wants to, but Officer Nick does not.
Oh my god. Oh gosh. That's great. That's great.
Can I help you?
yeah, that's what I was saying. I know.
Do it, Nick.
Chris takes this moment to deliver a puzzling warning to the officers.
By the way, if any of y'all has been feeling a punch-like sensation on your leg, that is my husband, Magic
Which
Chan
one?
Sonichu,
Okay,
right on the
okay.
opposite side of the universe.
Are you saying that Magichan's assaulting the cops? Do they need to arrest Magichan? Oh, yeah.
He's punching you all each.
Just a gentle punch?
Let you know he is here.
That's not it. That would be touching. That would be like a poke. That would be a gentle poke, not a punch. A punch isn't gentle, Chris.
Okay.
Maybe a
Feel
fist
he
bump.
punched you first.
Yeah, so I didn't, but you know.
Punch him on the other.
Yeah.
Hey, you good?
What?
With the arrest warrant finally confirmed, the officers are ready to move Chris to the waiting police cruiser. What should have been a simple task quickly takes a shocking turn, and things escalate in a way they clearly didn't expect.
All right, let's head on out.
Oh,
You ready?
gosh.
All right,
You good?
we're gonna go.
Okay.
Let's hold on out.
Hmm.
All right.
May I have my earpiece tucked behind my ear, just please?
Yeah, we can take care of it.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I do.
Very well.
All right. Head on that this way.
I'm gonna stay recording while we get to the vehicles in case these people address us.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't know any of these people?
I do not know those people, and
Yeah.
those are trolls. They're following me.
I think they're more like general internet people. Like they didn't like generally interact with Chris directly until there was an opportunity.
The internet, do not report this.
Yeah, that's Ralph.
Followers.
I think that's real.
Oh my God, what is this?
Oh, did they not show them? Oh, they
What
did
is-
actually go to church. Yeah. It's a husband and it's a pair of grifters who are at the time were husband and wife. They are now divorced, and one is hiding in Mexico, I believe, to not pay child support, if I remember correctly.
Happening right now.
Oh
This is gonna be
gosh.
trending on the internet.
I'm
Yep.
Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I want to
The alarming
say
spike in inflation
when
soaring to
this
its highest
happened,
level in
there was I think it actually trended like even for like normies. I believe it was Chris Chan did what? Yeah.
They're gonna post this online.
Yep, and they
Though
did.
this prediction comes close, the footage will go even more viral than Chris imagines.
I mean, Chris thinks he's God. I don't know. I think he would think that literally everyone would know this instead of just like people like me who might be online a little bit too much, just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Hey, thank y'all for y'all service, for real.
Appreciate it. I wasn't convinced that those were like internet fans, but that confirms it.
There you go. I mean, Google Chris Chan or
Yeah,
Sonic
you'll.
There you go. I've been infamous and famous.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Coming out of the woodwork.
Good, I just saw
They're
you.
surrounding them. The grifters are coming. Run away! Run
What did you say?
away! The grifter zombies.
I am compliant. I am good like this. And I am Chris Chan Sanchu, your goddess blue heart. And I continue to stand strong, and I maintain everything with quick fill and my side shoes and road shoes and everybody.
You're lost about 3,000 people right now.
Yeah, not surprised.
Let's not talk to them, okay?
Yeah, I keep in good faith. Everything is going to work out.
I mean, he didn't
Let's
end
not
up
talk.
going. I don't think he ended up like he was like in like limbo for quite a bit. I don't think he actually got like convicted or anything. Yeah, you gotta run. The grifters are coming. They're gonna get you.
I got my loves.
While Chris maintains a positive attitude in the
They will
face of
tear you limb from limb in the name of superberries.
uncertainty, the officers can't help but be increasingly amused by the attention and the seemingly growing crowd.
What? They're everywhere. I don't mean that. We're surrounded.
Yep.
Go ahead. List me.
I'm searching you, not Kristen.
Well,
What?
He's offering you the option there.
What?
Heck is going on right now?
These poor
This is the
officers.
most wild call for service I've ever been on.
I can imagine.
Do you have anything else on you?
I have nothing else on me.
They're gonna scan you into jail, and if there's anything on you, you little back,
I understand.
little nugget of weed, it's felony.
I have no weed. I have no drugs I'm consuming on me. Like I said, Chris.
What?
There you go. That felt good.
Chris, stop.
Let's have a seat.
Okay.
Chris, stop.
It's happening now. We're on the very last thread. It's happening.
Why are you yelling?
We're living it.
Okay.
If Batman's your hero, you're
Have a
gonna
seat.
meet him
Have a
very
seat.
soon.
I bet
Okay,
you're never
yeah.
working overtime for us again.
Merge hasn't happened yet, Chris.
With Chris now
been a few
secured in
years.
custody and the tension from the crowd finally easing, two of the officers are more than ready to put the bizarre encounter behind them.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, officers.
Which one was Sassy Nick?
Can we go eat now?
Yeah, 100%.
But the unusual day isn't over for the officer tasked with driving Chris to the police station. And
Oh,
as you'll
gosh.
witness, Chris has
You
so
gotta
much more
being stuck
left to share.
in the car with Chris while he tries to tell you his
Celebrity
lore.
scandals, all of that. And people just taking it, blowing it out of the water.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh my gosh. Chris saying blowing it out of the water. Should I just say what he's getting arrested for? Can I say that? I don't know if I want to say what he's getting arrested for.
And over a month from now, the next celebrity scandal is going to happen.
Okay.
And they'll be
Gosh,
all
Chris.
over that.
All right.
You may recognize or know my comic books I have drawn over the years and
Oh
my
boy.
sparkling and creations and discoveries of the Sonic Shoot and Rose Shoot
Oh my
Pokemon
gosh.
species.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, well, give you a little bit of homework for research on your own time then. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But essentially, I am a decent and good individual. I
Debatable?
believe in everything that is right and positive. And I am literally a
'Cause
goddess.
I don't-
And that was,
Because that's the interesting thing about like going through like the comprehensive history and stuff. You constantly like, or at least I constantly switch between I feel bad for Chris. Chris, this is all your fault. I feel bad for Chris. Chris, this is all your fault. It's like in the middle. Like how much of the making of the monster was the internet and how much was just Chris. So it's
will be
interesting.
proven in the near days to come as we are on the completion of the dimension merge, where the universe half
Oh
was
gosh.
divided in 1380s by order of King Arthur.
Okay, I didn't know
He
this bit
ordered
of lore.
Merlin and two other magicians to remove and banish all.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true that no one's completely good or evil. Well, almost everyone. I mean, there's like exceptions, like Jesus, but very, very few exceptions.
Dragons, unicorns, and other quote-unquote mythical creatures and overpowered individuals. And thus we were separated
Oh
and
boy.
transported into from what was originally called
O-
Universe
okay.
1C2119.
Why did you make your name so
Chris
long?
dives into an astonishing account of multiple universes where fictional characters coexist, many of whom may sound quite familiar.
You have
Oh
everybody
my
there. You
gosh.
have Superman, you have Mickey Mouse, you have Iron Man, you have
Oh
Darkwing
my
Duck, you have
gosh.
the Infinite Possibilities. You even have Ratchet and Clank. You have
Okay,
Super
yeah.
Mario Brothers, and you have Sonic. You have Link.
Yeah,
You have
okay.
everybody.
Everybody's
you
here.
name it,
It's
they're
like
there.
Smash Bros.
And of course,
Ultimate.
especially Sonic Shoes and Rose Shoes and all of the other Pokemon known
Oh
and
my
yet
gosh,
to
this
be
poor
known
officer.
in all of existence.
So you're saying Pokemon's are going to come back to this? Where we're at right now?
Pokemons?
Yes.
Bro, Pokemon's already plural. It's pocket monsters.
And among others, like I said, if Batman or actually, let me ask you, who is your favorite superhero?
I'd probably go with Spider-Man.
He's gonna come
Cool,
around.
cool.
You're gonna meet him.
All right, I can't wait.
I mean, if you're ever in New
Actually,
York,
which
he's gonna
one?
be swinging around there.
You need to specify. There's so many freaking spider people. So many spider people. Ridiculous amount of spider people. It's kind of annoying actually to keep track of everybody.
Why New York? Why only New York? Why can't he go wherever he wants?
Well, I mean, yeah, he can't go because he's a Spider-Man. He does whatever a spider can.
Yeah.
But also, I am particularly fond of and have great appreciation for the mentally capable and the psychic powered type of individuals. I have great respect for them, especially the good ones.
The
As the
mentally capable one just sounds like you're sane.
ride nears
Unlike
its end,
Chris.
Chris drops one final bombshell that will surely leave the officer with a lasting impression.
Yeah, so I am married interdimensionally with my husband, Magic Chan Sonichu.
Aren't there multiple though?
And I'm also married to Hannah.
I know Mewtwo's one of
My
them.
brain went blank on the word there, but anyway, I am also polygamously married to Brazil Roshu and
Okay.
Savannah Roshu and the one and only Mewtwo. The
Okay.
one that was cloned by Giovanni's team in Team
Okay.
Rocket as featured in the first Pokemon movie.
Okay.
Chris Chand, whose legal name is Christine Chandler, was taken to the Central Virginia Regional Jail and held without bond after being charged with incest.
Oh, good. I don't
The
have to say
victim
it.
was alleged to be Chris's mother.
Yeah.
On
Who may
August
or may not have been senile and not in the best of mental condition at the time.
8th, 2023, 2 years
I
after
love
the
that they.
arrest, the charges were ultimately dismissed.
I love
I was
that
robbed.
they.
They tried to run me over with the
That they like dropped that bombshell at the end. Like if you had no idea who Chris was, and it's just like, haha, funny internet. And then it's just like, wait, what? This guy did what? But yeah, the poor officer getting hit with 20 minutes of uninterrupted Sonichu multiverse lore, sacrificing himself for the good of the team. What a hero. Yeah. Yeah, they really buried the lead. It's like finding deleted scenes for a movie you watched 100 times. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Officer had to drive back with Chris literally wasn't an unskippable cutscene. Yeah, that's good. Pardon my flatulence. Oh, I missed that part. He said, "Pardon my." What, did they have a timestamp? Oh well. Uh, oh my gosh. Never thought my chronically online world and true crime world would collide. Well, then you, my friend, don't know some internet personalities that well. Like Cyrex gets arrested quite a bit. I want to say. Let me see. Christian. Let's see the other side. Christian arrested. Let me see if I can find the original footage. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's generally how they go, though. That's generally how they all go. Because all true crime, or not all true crime, generally the police body cam stuff, generally all do that. Let me see if I can find like the unedited. Yeah, here's the.
Before I get out, let's see. You guys can't see this, but oh shit!
But yeah, I think this was I think this was the height of his popularity, which is he's not doing very well right now.
Oh shit! Oh my god! They're arresting her.
I don't know everyone who's here.
Sorry. Yeah, they're
See, this is the other
Christian
side.
here at the hotel. Christian, what's up?
Yeah, 1,000 more questions.
Kill stream, baby. When you get out, let's do the kill stream.
I love that. I love that the body cam footage edited out his shameless self promotion. That's great.
Look me up. Once the charges drop, tell them about Joshua Connor Moon. Tell them all about Josh Moon. That's who they want. Give them up. Save yourself, girl. Magic Channel help you. You're beautiful. Look up, eat the Rob, kill stream. I live here in Richmond.
He's trying to plug so hard. Oh my gosh.
No,
Dude,
come to the kill stream first.
this is a serious situation. You know what he did to his mom?
Yeah! What kind of shit is this? Holy
I don't know who else he has with him other than his at the time wife.
Oh shit! Oh! You better hurry, Jesse. You're missing out.
It really is just like a whole like a stampede of grifters coming to go and get the Christian content. Oh my gosh.
Hey, officers. How's it going? Good. I just saw you. Yes,
I think we basically see everything else in the other what charge? This is not the charge. If you don't know the Christian charge, yeah. Do you want to do like more Christian stuff, or should we just like jump into like the palate cleanse of other stuff, or should we go a little bit deeper into the Christian lore? What do you want to do first? Because I could just be like, here's some internet. Let's go to this is what being on the internet too long gets you. Let's take a step back a bit and look at the other parts of old internet. Yeah, no, these guys aren't these guys I do not really agree with their actions, but I guess it got us footage earlier than now. But yeah, no, there's so many people coming out of the woodwork to talk about the Christian stuff whenever it happened. Yeah. I mean, there's already like whole channels just dedicated to Christian and his mental decline. Like, there was one channel that would just like read his tweets, while he was going on about being a goddess and stuff. Then they got the scoop of a lifetime whenever the charges happened. And the kind of sad part was Chris was doing better, like right before the charges. Like he was starting to do like commissions with his artwork. So the financial crisis, because they're in horrible like credit card debt. So I guess or they were in horrible credit card debt. They got like sued. Yeah, no, they do aid in the decline because it feeds him. Any attention just it keeps on encouraging him to do it. Because if it's negative, like he'll try to combat it. He got better at doing that later to some degree, though I think it's partially because there were like people who were somewhat trying to screen who he could talk to, and they kept him from some other people who were arguably dangerous. Like this one guy who said that he was like some like apocalyptic monster or something wanted to meet Chris, and then like everyone tried to like keep him from doing that. And they did successfully keep him from doing that. I forget what that guy's name was, but that was like the era before this one. But yeah, but Chris was finally making money. He might actually be able to support himself, and they were trying to a bunch of people in the background who kind of like babysit Chris were trying to like set him up so when his mom eventually passes away that they'd be able to figure out where they're going to put him, if he needs a home, what to do with him. But but then this happened, and they dropped him like a hot potato because it's like no, I'm not dealing with that, which is very very fair. But there's the Christian universe is very 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 messy. Would you like to see something just really stupid that I used to watch when I was a teenager as like a palate cleanse? I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. But yeah, this was my jam. Yeah, yeah, no, I believe he goes by Null, was the guy who runs Kiwi Farms. And he was like setting up a whole like support system for when Chris eventually when Barb would eventually pass away. And then he dropped him like a hot potato because he's like, nope, I'm not dealing with a literal MFer. Literal MFer. Oh my gosh. But yeah. This year, this is my jam. Like there's Creepcast now with like Wendigoon and Meat Canyon. Nothing can surpass this. This is the best way to enjoy bad creepypastas. There's nothing better than this. And if you don't watch Phaelus, most of this probably won't make sense. But I think that this is very funny. So I'm going to force you to at least watch part of it. Because I like to do that with people.
See it now.
Ah! Damn it. Oh, it's fine. This is the first one that he did. This is a character because So these are Channel Awesome people. If you don't know who Channel Awesome is, there was a time in the internet where angry reviewers like ran or were at least like a big thing. After the Angry Video Game Nerd happened, then we had like somewhat imitators in different genres pop up, like Nostalgia Critic. And then Nostalgia Critic started like his own like network where they'd all kind of promote each other. And that's where you get people like Linkara. That's where Nostalgia Chick slash Lindsay Ellis came from. There's a lot of like, there's just so many. There were so many different people. It was kind of probably too many people to properly promote. Yeah, no, I love his Good Times reviews. Hello there. But so there's all different kinds of people. Also, Cinema Snob. Cinema Snob is probably one that you might have actually heard of. So they were all these internet reviewers, and one of them, and I started off with Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, the angsty teen phase of the internets. Well, literally for me, I was a teenager when I got into this. I started with Nostalgia Critic, and then I branched off from there. I actually learned about the nerd from Nostalgia Critic, and then I was watching like the nerd, and I was watching like Nostalgia Chick, and eventually later I got into Phalus and Lupa. And generally I stuck with Phalus and Lupa more than the others, just because like their sense of humor is very good to me. But this character right here, who is going to read us the creepypasta, is somewhat a character of Phalus' own creation, because he basically completely changed the movie from like a ripoff of Beauty and the Beast that he reviewed, and that's also like one of my favorite things that he's ever made. And this character is great, and he just keeps on using him to read bad creepypastas. He hasn't done it in a while though. Gonna go like this before I forget.
Well, it seems I was expected. Welcome to
That's a
Old
review.
Man Reads Creepypastas. I have been scared
I
myself.
don't know if don't know if I'm proud to admit how many friends I've forced to watch this. Whenever it was like my birthday, and I was like, okay, guys, you're stuck here, and you can't say no. You can't say no this time. You're all going to watch this with me, and you are going to laugh, or you're going to be very confused and uncomfortable.
But I have come to realize that pasta does not mean pasta in this case, because why would
This voice must have sucked
obviously means
on his throat.
Stories based on really scary things like cartoons, board games, video games, theme parks. What the heck?
But yeah, all the it does a pretty good job of critiquing all of these.
.exe. These stories already
Yeah, because he basically made them, because like they're there, but they're existing, but it's his edits that like make them interesting. So
it includes a file extension. I'm a total Sonic
maybe I should actually
Hedgehog fan.
maybe so that you actually understand who this guy is, I should actually pull up the Beauty and the Beast one. I'm not sure though, because I'm not sure if I can like add enough other than like, oh, this is really funny. Creepypasta being explained. Yeah, no. You know, let's just continue for now.
I know, right? I've never heard anyone say anything negative about a Sonic the Hedgehog game. I like the newer.
I guess this kind of this is a natural transition from Chris Chan because Sonic's still involved. This all makes sense. It's all connected. It's all connected.
Games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. Wow! Already this story is really scary. I don't know if I can go much further listening to what Sonic games this guy likes playing or not. It started off.
Okay, well, I love this video. I don't want to like steal his content without like any like actual commentary, but I do kind of want to give you like a highlight reel so that you can see how stupid Kid Me's sense of humor was. Because he just sounds like it's just random sometimes. Like, actually, he probably took away all the videos with Did he take out all the videos with Brad? Because I think they had a falling out. What was it? Time Machine. I found it at a garage sale. Oh no, he still has them. Okay, good.
If I went back to 18-year-old Lindsay, I would just tell her it's all gonna be okay.
But yeah, it's just like really dumb. It's like purposefully dumb is the best way that I can describe his sense of humor. And I guess they're at Linkara's house? Oh wait, are pretending to be at Linkara's house?
You're damn right that garbage, honey. That no good grandson of
Here's Linkara. See?
mine is too old to be playing with toys. Fat Grandma, no! Or don't you talk back to me, honey child, or else you ain't getting any of my world famous flapjacks. They're full of sand.
But yeah, so these are all just like purposefully stupid. For some reason, despite Fat Grandma, I believe, destroying the universe at one point, I think that Lewis has decided not to use Fat Grandma in his lore, which is somewhat unfortunate. I don't know. I could also just like show you the channel Awesome Movies. I can probably talk about that one more. Uh, Actually, I could just do the anniversary specials, because the first one's like a lot more humble, I guess. Where's the? Do they have all the? Yeah, here's all the anniversary specials. But yeah, to boldly flee sucks ass. You see how long this is? One part is like 45 minutes, and it's all boring. Nothing happens. Yeah, there's like one controversial joke in there, and they made Doug take it out. But otherwise, it's just space reference. I was gonna say he really likes the Matrix, but then he made his Matrix reviews talking about how he hates the Matrix. So I don't. Does he even like the Matrix? He just does his own Matrix. I don't know. I don't. I don't know like how old internet I should go here, because I want to make sure that I can like actually add to the content. Because if we're just doing like a watch along thing, then I should probably just like set up a Discord and do that, for funsies. But I'm like terrified of Discord. Everything bad happens on Discord, I swear, because it's like every month. And then the Discord came out where there was groomers, and it's like, oh boy, why does that always happen? Why does that always freaking happen? I have to just like go over the Christian thing. There's so much stuff. You know what? Let's just do this down the rabbit hole for a minute here while I figure out what to do. Let's just get a little bit of Sonichu lore.
Down the rabbit hole.
I want to say that is this his first one or his? I feel crazy here. Wait. Okay, this wasn't his first one. This was his second one. Okay, this first one was on the studio that tried to like sue Jim Sterling, who's also like old internet personality. I think Linkara even did like a parody of him at one point. Yeah, no, I just feel like Discord's just like a whole mess, and I feel like anytime I'm on Discord, like something horrible happens every time. Like at D&D group, everything falls apart because of Discord, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, let's let's start here so that at least we're learning something. If it's like
In
educational, I
online
feel like I can talk
circles,
about
the
it
name
easier.
Sonichu has become synonymous with delusional artistry, creative unoriginality, and poor drawing ability, and its
Really?
creator is closely associated with the
It's
practice
even
of
worse than I
trolling,
thought.
though most remain uncertain as to precisely why any of this is true. In fact, Sonichu has reached such levels of recognition that Sega's marketing team has acknowledged the
I mean,
character.
that's not surprising.
Sonichu? No.
Yeah.
First,
I wonder. I'm not surprised that the American branch knows. I wonder if the Japanese branch knows. That would be funny.
it's difficult to understand how the comics came to receive so much attention, especially when they are of such poor quality.
I wanna.
It features artwork that
This
looks
was
like it was
7 years
created by
ago.
an elementary
I wonder what level of delusion Chris was at that stage.
school
I'm sure
child,
he'll
and
talk
the
about it in
panel
here.
structure is confusing, sometimes relying on numbering the text blocks so that the reader can determine what
And Kara
text
needs
goes
to
where.
do that with how bad
Even
his
then,
bubbles
it's
are.
difficult to follow. The writing, which
Swear,
often takes
Lightbringer
up so much
is just
space that
a mess
Alan
to read.
Moore has put to shame,
Holy
uses
shit.
and misuses college-level vocabulary within confusing grammar structures. The plot is
Yeah.
nonsensical, the characters are shallow and one-dimensional, and the main protagonist is a self-insert of the author whom every other character loves and respects. Even the
Yeah.
setting, Quickville, is named after his initials. So what about it garnered so much
Christian's like
attention?
level of
What sets it
egotism
apart
is
from
really
other
interesting
terrible
to me. Because
self-produced
literally
media,
everything
and how did
has
it
to have
become
quick
such
in
a
it.
popular
And I don't know
social
why.
phenomenon? The answer has little to do with the comic itself and much more to do with the person behind it, as well
Oh
as the
my
internet
gosh,
denizens
really?
who first discovered him.
Now you can be a partner and risk your livelihood on how well you can determine phishing messages. Oh god. Ugh.
On the Something Awful online forums, there is a group of people who enjoy learning about and communally teasing strange and often mentally handicapped people from a distance, similar to the way that reality shows will gawk at people
Yeah.
with strange,
And you might be
unique
thinking Kiwi
hobbies.
Farms. No, this is not Kiwi Farms. This is before Kiwi Farms. We are in old internet. It is Something Awful, which I believe the creator of Something Awful has game overed.
In October of 2007, while discussing one person in particular,
I feel like in
the topic
general,
was
just
entirely derailed.
if you get like involved too much in the internet, then it's like hard to step away, I guess.
When a user
And that's a lot
offhandedly
of
brought up
tragedies happen
someone
that way.
else. They wrote their own real-life account of the person, stating, quote, "This guy used to leave business cards at my school's library where he would hang out for hours looking for a boyfriend-free girl. This is how I first learned of him. From here, I developed something of an obsession, culminating last summer when I made a
How you
special
doing,
trip to a
Doctor?
gaming store and
How
local
are you doing,
hangout
Dr. Malley?
where he had posted he would be. He was every bit as Aspergic
You know
as
nothing
I
about
had
Christian,
imagined.
right?
I present to you Sonichu." This statement was followed by a link to a website hosted on Tripod, though the archived version of this website is mostly filled
Would you
with
be
broken
interested
JPEG
in going
images
over
and
the
seems
comprehensive
largely
history at some
lost.
point?
The posts from some of the forum members paint a bleak picture. One comments, "Well, I think
Because
that
it
link
gets
gave my
pretty dark,
computer
so I
HIV.
don't.
Don't
Okay,
visit it if
so
you
I
value your
wanted to see about
sanity."
that.
Another
'Cause
states,
I don't want to like plunge you into like depression or anything, but if you're like willing to stare into the abyss, I would love to have you on. We could actually start that today if you want.
"His page reminds me of a grand mal seizure, likely
I will say though, I probably would want to skip episode 10 because I can never sit through episode 10. Like in that one, Christian's just being abused for like for most of the episode, and it's very sad. Like one episode's like 30 minutes. I'd say like if we do this like once a week, we'll be done in like a year, a little over a year. Because otherwise it'll take literally forever. There's like 60 parts. Maybe I should just look up Gino. I want to say there's like 60 parts. This is which part is this? I can't read. No, Roman numerals. 85? There's even more than I remembered. Okay, it'll take us like 2 years. Okay, not 2 years. It's the 1 year. Well, I mean 2 years. Comprehensive is very, very accurate. Would you be willing to do that like later today? Because I figured just in case for like internet stuff or not like internet reliability stuff, maybe we should do it off stream. But I'd love to see your unfiltered reaction to Chris, and I can lead you down this horrible rabbit hole.
Referring to dazzling and mismatched colors common to personal websites of the time. This website was filled with hand-drawn Sonichu branding, as well as the first 7 issues of the Sonichu comic. It was here also that the interested parties discovered the name of the man behind the creation, Christian Weston Chandler. In fact, it was difficult to miss. His name and his initials, CWC, were plastered all over the website in as many places as he could fit.
Egotism. That's really interesting to me.
Entry into a PlayStation Parappa the
think
Rapper
it's
contest,
because of his
which he had
parents.
ungraciously lost, calling out the winner as
Hey, thanks,
stupid
Dr.
and
Malley.
no
Have a
good
good
while
day.
parading
I'll
a
see you.
website
I'll
of
see
his
you
own
later
creation,
today. Actually, I
declaring
guess.
himself the winner.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to let test me, I'm
This
sure
is very
you'll find
condensed.
that you all things that I teach you.
A couple of the members gave their own
Meanwhile, in like comprehensive history, like goes over his like elementary school assignment.
personal accounts of him as well,
Or at least
discussing
high
how he
school.
got kicked out of a college one of them attended and that he wears a Sonichu necklace everywhere he goes. Some of the members, however, seemed unconvinced of Christian's authenticity. One states that, quote, "I'm pretty sure this is a relatively elaborate joke." This disbelieving attitude continued even when
okay, this is
information
why
was
he
pulled
structures
from
it
his
this way, I
completely
guess.
public MySpace
Maybe.
page, where it was learned that 2 years
I guess it's doing it more from like an outsider's perspective and how they figure out about Chris, and not from like Chris's life story. Because he didn't bring up that we have footage of Chris as like a literal child, so I guess they're gonna figure out. They're gonna show
beforehand,
the
he had
process
been
of figuring
kicked
that
out
out.
of Target for loitering.
It's been forever since I've
He
seen this
describes
video.
this activity as, quote,
Probably
hoping
years.
to find an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free girl like I usually do. His demands for an eligible bachelorette were also on his MySpace page. They included that they be white, under 230 pounds, between the ages of 18 and 24, and smoke-free. The things he could not
lurking, I
tolerate in
appreciate
a
it.
partner included the person being a smoker, an alcoholic, real ugly, low functionally mentally handicapped, seriously physically deformed, medium
my
or dark
gosh.
chocolate, and autistic. Despite the dubious ethical nature of this list,
Oh
the
my
last point
gosh.
stands out especially because he admits himself to being autistic. He closes these
I
demands
know
by
that
saying,
like obviously like Chris has like changed his views on like gay men. I don't know if he's still as racist as he used to be. I'm assuming he's not. I'm assuming because of like all the backlash that he'd get about like the racism stuff.
that, quote, "I apologize if I have touched any nerves that may cause sadness. I'm just being honest. But don't fret. If you fit under any of these conditions, you can still help me by spreading a good word about me among the 18 to 24-year-old boyfriend-free set. Thank you for your consideration. Have a nice day." One user expresses sympathy, stating, "I know this is something awful, but at the end of the day, he does have a disability. I took a quick glance at this and felt immediately sorry for the man."
This is the part that's interesting about Chris, I think, because it's always you always feel like this is part of why I feel sympathy for Chris, other than like just he's like a human being and people are messing with him. But a lot of the people, there's a lot of people who have autism who are like, "Hey, bro, it's not just your autism; it's your behavior. Your behavior is what's causing this, and your choices." But it's also like how much of this comes from his upbringing. There's so many different factors into Chris Chan and like how you can view him. And I think that's what makes him so interesting. Is one, he's like one of the most documented people in all of history. And two, just like the dichotomy between like him and the trolls and like how much of this is Chris's fault. Yeah, I don't know. How much of this is his parents, how much of this is the
that had set
trolls.
in. Inevitably, Christian was discovered by a different forum, 4chan, which had been
Not surprising.
popularized due to the way that all the users remain outwardly anonymous when posting. They began researching Christian on their own and
Actually,
pored
now
over
that I
his
think
comics.
about it, going back a little bit, how I mentioned, oh, I didn't start on Kiwi Farms, because Chris Chan indirectly started Kiwi Farms. Chris Chan's involved in so many different things, because I think originally Kiwi Farms was like a forum just for talking about Chris, and then it like became less specialized.
It didn't take long for them to discover that these comics served as less
And
of
now
a
it's
creative
the
outlet for Christian
controversial
and
drama
more of a
site that we know
fantasy
today.
fulfillment. The first two issues seem mostly to focus on the eponymous Sonichu, a mashup of Sonic and Pikachu, fighting Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic franchise, but by the third issue, the main character had effectively become Christian himself, with the villain being a woman named Mary Lee Walsh. This villain's name and rough likeness are drawn from real-life sources. While Christian was in community college, he had posted signs around the main campus building about his, quote, love quest, which included his stringent demands for a romantic partner. When Christian refused to stop posting these signs, as well as holding a similar sign while loitering in public, Walsh attempted to talk him down in her office.
I think people are speculating that Chris has a girlfriend right now.
Drawing to
I'm not sure
Walsh's
if that's
house.
still a thing,
He was
though.
then banned from the campus for a year and
Which is
required
kind of
to
weird
take
after
anger
like all
management
the
classes as well as
jail
receive
stuff
psychiatric help
and why
before
he went
being
there.
readmitted. Christian internalized this by demonizing her in his comics as a stereotypical Saturday morning cartoon-style villain with the same name.
Why
Due
are
to
boobs
frequently
like
being
that?
thrown out of malls and stores for loitering with his, quote,
Why is it supposed to be like a
attraction
Superman
sign,
type
offending
chest,
security
like,
guards
puffed
and
out
store
thing?
managers are similarly demonized in the comics as villains for Christian to defeat, calling them jerk-hops and mana-jerks in a childish portmanteau involving the
I've
word
always tried to figure out what Married Senior comic is supposed to be. Aside from literal MFing, I do think a lot of this has been stirred by others. He's still responsible, of course, but others aren't just watching a train wreck. They are putting stakes on the tracks. I 100% agree with that. But also with the MFing, there was also someone in the background who I believe was encouraging it. Her name is. I want to put a. Isabel. If you see this chick, beware. She may be a greater monster than Chris. She also like said that she abused animals or something, like boiling hamsters. I don't know.
jerk.
But
Playing off of
supposedly
Christian's
she
hatred for
encouraged it.
homosexuals, members of 4chan began
At least
crafting
that's
crude, lewd
the general
drawings
story
of the
that I've
characters
seen
from his
based on the
comics
evidence.
engaging in homoerotic situations.
Yeah,
Along
no.
with this, a
There's
few
so many
candid
different
photos
people
of Christian
just
were revealed
screwing
from his
with
favorite
him and
hangout,
making it
a
worse.
game store called The Game Place. On November 3rd,
'Cause,
only 7 days after the original thread on
Because the trolls get to a point where they're like, oh, we're like an organized group of people trying to keep you from getting a girlfriend. Dude already thought that, like, normal straight dudes are trying to keep him from getting a girlfriend. When these people are validating it, it just made it so much worse. And go deep because I'm not comfortable with SB stuff in general. Do you mean like struggle cuddle type stuff or?
Something Awful was written, a page about him was created on a website called Encyclopedia Dramatica. It's difficult to describe the site itself. It functions very similarly to Wikipedia and even uses the same tools, with anybody able to edit or add to its entries. It often serves as a repository
This is definitely
for
old
information
internet.
about online
Definitely old
phenomena,
internet.
albeit with a vulgar and purposefully insulting twist. On this page, the information discovered about Christian was collated, along with a picture of him at the game place and some of the homosexual
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Honestly, I definitely prefer learning about early Christery. Yes, there's a name for it. It's called Christery and it's dumb. But I definitely prefer learning about that. It's not as dark. Just the more that it goes, it's just it gets to a new level of depressing as the years go on, especially as people make him more and more delusional. And then people are also speculating that he might actually have like other conditions going on because he talks about like it sounds like he's having little seizures or like little strokes. So that could also be part of like the mental instability. So people are just trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him.
And drawings of his characters. This page very quickly became one of the most popular on the website and set in motion the exponential growth of interest in Christian Weston Chandler, as well as the efforts to tease and harass him.
Because Chris himself has like
It
this
wasn't
kind of
long until Christian
charisma
was alerted
that's
to
fun
the
to
page
watch.
made for him on Encyclopedia Dramatica.
But
he initially seemed to misconstrue the attention,
everyone
taking
around
it to
him
mean that his comics
can
had
make it
increased
kind
in
of
popularity. He
sucky
also
to
seemed
watch.
to think that those
I don't
talking
know.
ill of him on the Encyclopedia page were not malicious, merely misinformed. He proceeded to give a short autobiography of his life through a YouTube video, talking chiefly about his elementary school and middle school years, as well as what he
I wonder if
calls
there's going to
his
be like college
high-functional
courses taught
autism.
about Christian.
And one teacher in particular of Providence Middle School.
Maybe they have
who I
like
would like to give much kudos to,
lolcow
who was-
ethics
who,
101.
who not only let me,
Why you don't touch the
it was a
poo.
good
He closed
Which means
the video
interact
by
with the
asking the
lolcow.
viewers to edit the encyclopedia page to be more positive towards him.
take them down.
Yeah, no, that's
Please. I'm
see,
asking.
it's this
As an
charisma
innocent
that's
victim
fun
of
to.
misunderstanding, just
'cause
take down
he's-
your web pages or add
He's
them to
he's interesting because of like this mixture of like child like innocence plus also like kind of a perv altogether.
Predictably, this attempt failed,
So-
and so he began editing the
And just
site
watching his
himself.
little Truman Show that
However,
he's
these
doing by
edits were
himself
quickly
without
outed as
other
being
people
his own,
interacting
in
with
part
him
due to how out of
sounds
place
fun
the writing was,
to some
but
degree.
also
Also a little
because
sad.
he referred to himself in the first
But
person
interesting.
in these edits, and in some places signed his name. The details he provided were numerous and often extremely personal, including his failed
Yeah.
attempt at romancing his friend Megan, poetry, diary entries, and his ownership of
Now,
a sex doll
Megan is
named
probably
Officer
one of the ones that I
Nasty.
feel
In time, all of
the
the edits
most
he made
bad
to the page
for,
would be confirmed by himself with
in terms of just,
testimony
like,
and
collateral
sometimes video
damage.
evidence. He later would explain that he gave so much information away in a nonsensical attempt to force what he calls an information overload, though what he meant by this is unclear. As far as the fascinated readers were concerned, they had struck gold. As a perplexing response to the homosexual imagery, he drew his own pornography and uploaded it to his page.
Yeah.
4 were of his characters, but a 5th one was of him
This
performing
is-
sexual acts on an unnamed girl as
This
he gave
is,
a thumbs up. Some users thought this person
This
may
was
be
one of the times
Christian's
when, like, this is
fantasies
just
and
Chris's
not
fault.
based on any real person, but he made it extremely clear that this subject was supposed to be
And
one of
based
his
on how he
only
talks about it, it
friends,
sounds like he would have made
Megan.
it anyway, even without the trolls.
The people reading Encyclopedia Dramatica, unsurprisingly, began to torment and tease Christian with the information he had provided to them. As long as Christian was reacting,
This is the
they
prime
would
example
continue
of don't
poking.
feed the trolls. Do
This
not
began
interact
to
with them.
bleed
They are
into his
just going
real
to get more
life.
ravenous.
He was summarily kicked from the church he attended when the pastor was alerted to Christian's Encyclopedia Dramatica page. The other
I feel like
person
that's
alerted to
kind
his
of
antics
a
online
bad
was
move.
Megan in March of
If this guy's struggling,
2008,
maybe you
who
should.
noticed the lewd artwork Christian had drawn of her.
I guess to some degree, it's like, oh, it's so that other people won't get harassed if he goes here thing. But also, if he's a dude who's struggling, then maybe don't kick him out. I don't know.
Disgusted by his actions, Megan told him in an email that she believes that Christian, quote, defiled her. Christian's tone-deaf email responses attempted to downplay and excuse what he did, yet only served to reveal something even more repulsive about himself. He wrote, Megan, I am sorry for uploading the drawing, and I really wish I could go back in time and stop myself from making the mistake.
His explanation here is why I think he probably would have drawn it anyway.
Yet I do not regret drawing the drawing, because if I hadn't released my frustrations in the creative sense, I might have actually done something really dumb and stupid. Megan replied by asking, what does that mean? Abducting me and raping me?
I mean,
Chris
that's kind of what it
attempted
sounds
to
like,
make
to be
her feel
honest.
guilty, writing, Megan, I really want to remain your friend, but I feel it growing more difficult with the emotional feeling of long distance between you and me. I feel sad, lonely, and rejected when you don't allow me to be socially close to you or even when you won't talk to me. By the end of April, Megan had seemingly cut all ties. Shortly after losing Megan, Christian was banned from his last bastion of socialization.
Oh yeah, this was
the
really
game
fun too.
place, for
His
shouting at
like
a
feud with
child
the
and
gameplays.
numerous other
This
offenses.
is another one where it's like entirely his fault. So these ones are just funny because it's just him being him. Traditional churches would want to help him, yeah, but today they care about appearances if we're talking about Western Christianity. It depends on what you're talking about. because there's all different kinds. There's so many denominations, and then there's the whole non-denominational ones where there's so many of those. But yeah, I might get what you mean. I'm not 100% sure.
With the gameplay,
Like, there are definitely some that would just care about appearances. I don't think all of them do, but it also depends on like who's like in the congregation and that type of stuff.
barred from him, Christian was left with very few ways of interacting with others. Meanwhile, people online began harassing Christian in strange and novel ways in order to elicit reactions from him, as well as to obtain more embarrassing information.
Yeah.
I live in Philadelphia. I also have girlfriend.
For example, one person
The-
pretended to be Christian, dressing
Don't remember
similarly
where
to him and
that
making
one
a
comes from.
Sonichu medallion similar to the
Oh
one
yeah,
Christian.
yes. Oh, was it like a big church? Okay, yeah, because mega churches. I'm just gonna say it, mega churches, in my opinion, trash. Trash. Because they tend to do like prosperity gospel stuff, and that's just like totally not true. It goes against like so much. So much.
Christian wears, then produced videos in a reasonable facsimile of Christian's stunted way of speaking. Many others went
I
along
also really
with
don't like the ones that are whenever anyone does like fire and brimstone or says like God hates you, because God is literally love, so he doesn't hate you. It just sounds dumb. I don't know.
this, giving Christian the impression that this doppelganger was succeeding.
Might not
In
approve of what you're
response,
doing.
He began making videos himself,
Doesn't hate you.
giving out personal information as proof that he was the real one, including his phone number and home address.
That I am
Yeah,
indeed
yeah.
the real Christian Weston Chandler.
Yeah, prosperity gospel
and
trash.
That I am not that damn fucking imposter in brown.
The most prevalent method to retrieve information, and arguably the most successful, was to pretend to be a woman interested in dating.
I'm debating on Saturday because I want to do more comics, right? And I'm also like I'm pretty Catholic. I'm not like the best at like practicing my faith. So I want to go over these things called chick tracks. They're like fire and brimstone, pretty crazy. There might be like some stuff that aren't crazy, but from what I've seen, I kind of want to go into it. Like the art's not like the best either, so I kind of want to go through those. But I don't know like how controversial that is, or if I should just like do it.
Dating Christian. After easily winning Christian's trust, they would leak the conversations and pictures they received onto forums to grow the ever-mounting horde of data on him. These conversations often had swaths of personal information freely given and often unbidden. Sexual information, photographs, and videos were often the most prized because of how ubiquitously embarrassing
Chris is
they
porn
were.
sick.
One of
I think
these
that's
false girlfriends was able
big
to
issue.
convince Christian to mail his Sonichu medallion to him, whereupon he made a video of himself destroying it. Sometimes, however, Christian would simply give away information, such as his tendency to soil himself.
Yeah, yeah. Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Saturday. I'm gonna do the chick tracks. Maybe I'll like pull up some specific ones. Like I know the Dungeons and Dragons one is really funny, but I don't know. I feel like it can be a little bit of a hornet's nest, but it should be interesting. I hate when they destroy this medallion. This is like an artifact of history, and you're destroying it. Why would you do that? You should have like put it. This belongs in a museum, like Indiana Jones. This belongs in a museum. Why would you do this?
Again and again, he would fall for the self-branded trolls, and as time wore on, he grew more and more embittered. This bitterness began leaking into his Sonichu comics, for which he believed there was now a wide fan base thanks to all of the attention he was receiving.
I mean,
He
kind
began
of
inserting the trolls as
ironic,
villains
but
in the
still.
same manner he had done to Mary Lee Walsh, some even receiving their own arcs. Christian's self-insert character
And
also
that's a
pushed
terrible idea because then that encourages people to become characters in the universe by messing with you. And that's how we get like so many just shitty people trying to insert themselves into this. And not only is it like morally bad, it's also just not funny. So like on both sides, it doesn't work.
farther into the spotlight, to the point that Sonichu only rarely would make an appearance anymore.
It's like the Shane Dawson like blackface stuff. Like, not only is it morally bad, it's also just not funny. So there's no reason to do it like at all.
The more information that was learned of Christian, the crisper the image of the man became.
Okay, and
Christian's
this is where we're
existence
going
was
into his
very
childhood, maybe?
childlike, with his parents, Bob and Barbara, caring for almost all of his needs and providing
Rip,
little incentive
lum-
for him to be
internet
independent
lumberjack.
while he whiled away his days creating things out of Legos and playing video games. Though he went to public school, he still seems to be socially maladjusted, likely due in part to his autism. Christian's grasp on reality was tenuous.
I mean,
and
I
he
don't think
seemed to
public
believe
school
at
just
least
makes you automatically good at social situations. If that were true, I think a lot more people. I don't know.
in part that the fictitious town of Quickville was real and that he had the power to curse people. He lived in squalor. His parents were hoarders, with junk of all
Yeah.
kinds piled up to the ceiling, eventually
I-
spilling out onto the front lawn.
This
The
had
Christmas tree
consequences.
stood in the same corner of the living room at all times of year due to
Some
the
pretty
amount of
serious
trash
ones?
in the way, and video that Christian took of the shower showed it covered with bacteria and
Oh
mold.
god. Oh god. What? There's a recent thing. I'm way too entrenched into the internet now, and this reminds me of something. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, then. Can we see that image? It like okay, you'll just have to believe me. It almost looks this bad. And former, probably biggest law tuber for a bit. He's fallen from grace because he did drugs, and now his bathroom looks like this, except orange. I wouldn't be surprised. Uh, I really wouldn't be surprised. Because if you're a hoarder on that level, like I call myself a hoarder as like a ha-ha, because I like collect too many things. But if you're a hoarder, it's probably because something happened to them too. So it's trying to like break that cycle and stuff. And if you're hoarding, you might not be fully healed and might need more like help. So I wouldn't be surprised. And then there's also like the physical issues because then there's a bunch of pests. You might not feel like you have a space of your own depending on like how the hoard exists. I don't know.
One person remarked that he smelled of rotten watermelon, while
Yeah.
others said he smelled like, quote, body odor masked with gallons of Axe. His psychiatry
He believed that Axe would replace bathing, or perhaps even be better than bathing.
papers from 2004 note that, quote, he has been on antidepressants for many years. The psychologist went on to say that he may benefit from therapy, though it seems unlikely that he received it.
You really
The
should
more
have.
these online bullies
That
probed
would have
and
helped a lot.
teased, the more paranoid Christian became. He and his parents began to see everyone as a potential troll, and they seemed to sequester themselves off further and further from the outside world.
Yeah.
I will hunt you down, you damn dirty trolls. This is war.
Also, he's doing this because he believes he's part Cherokee. I mean, you're not wrong that it's not just a Chris issue with the axe. Because that's another interesting thing about Christian. With some of the things that he does, how many other Chris's are there out in the world that we just don't know about because they just don't post it, or they have parents who keep them from posting it? How many other people are kind of like living in these delusional worlds? I find that fascinating.
Despite his paranoia, he continued to fall for ill-conceived pranks while jumping from one false
If I
girlfriend
remember
to
correctly,
another
that is
for
a transformer in his hand.
Despite his
I believe this is Megatron.
paranoia, he continued to fall for ill-conceived pranks while jumping from one false girlfriend to another for years. The more information he gave, the more persistent the pranksters became, which only fed the paranoia. When his father passed of a heart attack, Christian obliquely blamed it on the trolls and the stress they caused.
Yeah, I mean,
Christian's comics
I
grew
wonder how much that
increasingly
actually
more
did contribute.
vindictive. Death became a far more common theme as time wore on,
This was
and
before
his
his dad
fantasies
died,
turned
though.
from power to excessive violence. This grew worse and worse until issue 10, where his most hated trolls are placed in a kangaroo court where they are immediately found guilty for somehow slighting Christian. Each of them is individually given their own torture scene. One is delivered an excruciatingly drawn-out death.
This character right here, she's my favorite. I have a thing with like characters put in like young characters put in like a situation that they really shouldn't be in, and then like doing their best. Generally, if they're like created for a weapon as a weapon. Like I love like Mewtwo. I love X-23. I don't know why. It's just generally that sub genre of character. So like this character becomes my favorite based on like the fan art I've seen of her. It's just really funny.
Death by electric chair.
Because like
One is
Chris
hung
made like
against
this
the
horrific
wall and shot
backstory
by
without
3
really
different
thinking
people.
about it.
One is telekinetically
Because she was like just born that day, and then she's doing this because she doesn't, because it's like her dad told her to. I think
twisted and deformed before his heart is exploded,
it's
and
really
one
weird.
has holes drilled into him by 2 other characters, one of whom is an extremely young child.
Yeah. That
The
one.
cycle of harassment came to a head on the 28th of October 2011 when he and his mother, Barbara, assaulted Michael.
Also Frankenstein. Now that I think about it. You know, I just like the Frankenstein character archetype, I guess.
Snyder,
I don't know.
The owner of the game place, where Christian had been banned 3 years prior. Over the years, the Chandlers had come to believe that
I guess
Michael
this is the
Snyder
idea of
was
becoming
somehow
greater than
behind
what
the
you were meant to
trolling
be.
attacks.
Mike, it was Mike that threw him out. Mike's been persecuting him for years, and I don't like Mike. I'd like to speak to the owner of the place. I think
Bob.
he lives up here, up the road from me, in Madison or somewhere. This whole thing was a
sir, the
Bob's like out of his depth.
with my
Dude, like
son.
so much of this.
Now, I didn't like it
Sir,
then, and I still don't like it. Now, what
Though
happened?
the details are unclear, what is certain is that Christian and Barbara drove to the store and began taking photos of the interior and its owner, who was outside the building when the photos were taken. The two hit Snyder with their van and then began driving away.
Is this the first time he gets
They were quickly stopped by
arrested?
the police, however, and were sent to court where, in April of the following year, they were indicted. Barbara with failure to stop after an accident and assault on an officer, Christian with failure to stop, trespassing, and assault, likely against Snyder. Each of them were put
There's
on
this assault,
probation
there's the
and
GameStop
required to
assault,
perform
and then
community
there's the mom
service,
thing.
along with paying Snyder's medical bills.
I might be missing
After
something,
this,
though.
Christian curbed his online presence, and focus on him dwindled. Over the next 3 years, Christian's mental state continued to wither away, while both he and his mother grew more sedentary. Junk continued to...
This picture had like all the trolls calling her Snorlax. Also, that looks like a pretty happy kitty, but maybe not. Maybe not though, because looks like the kitty might need to be on a little bit of a diet.
Pile higher and higher
Big kitty,
while their
though.
physical health declined and their funds began to run dry, much of it frittered away by Christian's compulsive credit card spending.
I mean, Barb did it too. They're both bad. Man, I'd love to see Christian's finances. That would
On
be
January
insane.
10th of 2014, interest in Christian increased again when his house caught fire. Though
Another
the
reason
cause
not
of the
to
fire
hoard.
was reported as unknown, Christian later revealed that it was caused by a cord plugged into a socket in the first floor bathroom. The insulation had worn away over time, and the heaps of junk had
Okay, there's
proven
like
good.
there's a section. There's like a sliding scale of when the big kitty is a happy kitty and when the big kitty is not having a good time anymore because he's too big.
Fuel, spreading the flames. The firefighters were kept from the blaze for much longer than they should have due to the amount of garbage piled in front of the doors of the house, forcing them to use the windows. But this renewed online attention was short-lived. Even when he returned later that year to come out as a lesbian-identified male, intersex, and cross-dressing tranny who still detested homosexual
What?
men, the consensus seemed mostly to be mild amusement.
This is
rather
him
than
cosplaying as a This is him cosplaying as a My Little Pony character. known by the fandom as Vinyl Scratch, which is a lot better than the actual name of the official one, which is like DJ Pwn 3 or something. Vinyl Scratch sounds a lot better.
Raptured interest as it once had been. His delusions seemed to have not left him, as he had begun to campaign against Sonic's arms being changed from a flesh tone to blue in the franchise's most recent game, Sonic Boom.
So dumb.
This eventually led him to pepper spray the clothes of a GameStop employee, but even this
Imagine that's the reason why you're mad at Sonic Boom. And not because, like, the game kind of sucked. Apparently the TV show's good, though.
The fervor. There is still a section of internet denizens labeling themselves Christorians who keep track of his activities and collate them, but the tone seems to have shifted from that of bullying to a distant fascination. The output of comics has reached a sluggish pace, and it's uncertain whether he'll make more or not. Though he still lives with failing health, the heyday of trolling has come to an anticlimactic close. The phenomenon that is Christian Weston Chandler now serves as a case study of online harassment.
So much happened after this video, holy shit.
A symbol of delusion and spite. His story is a lesson. The internet does not forget.
I was gonna say, welcome back to the video, everyone. Champion can have a reunion under better circumstances, yeah. This is basically a tragedy where everyone is horrible, which is, it's very accurate. It's very, very, very accurate. Well, I guess whenever you get into, like, the White Knight era, there's some people who are, like, kind of trying. But, still. To keep my... You know what? I'm not a liar. We're gonna go over some Channel Awesome stuff, because there's a Spoonie video right here. I never really watched Spoonie when he was, like, around. But he is part of the Channel Awesome universe. He was one of the big creators. Him, Nostalgia Critic, and Linkara would do, like, collaborations where they're, like, the main people. And that's where you get this joke where you always see with Linkara. This comes from one of their reviews together. Yeah, here's Spoonie. Here's Nostalgia Critic, and here's Linkara. This is a totally unrelated guy who just really liked Channel Awesome but never made the cut.
Please welcome President Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
who has a few questions
I mean,
for
it kind of sets you up to fail a little bit, eh? But I guess originally it was called that guy with the glasses. But the issue with that guy with the glasses as a name is like, okay, but that's just Doug. Sure, a lot of them have glasses, but if it's like a whole, like, cross section of a bunch of different internet personalities, including chicks too, it doesn't make sense to call him that guy with the glasses. So they had to come up with something else. So I guess Channel Awesome is the best they could come up with.
Whenever the subject of Noah Antweiler, also known as the Spoonie One, is discussed online,
a few of his
the
videos,
conversation
and they were
will
amusing.
almost always turn to his
But he
loss
definitely
of
isn't my
popularity.
favorite.
Most discussion around him takes the
Again,
form
I'm more
of
like
informal
Bayless
opinion
Lupa.
pieces, either written as forum posts or recorded
I like
on
Nostalgia
video, typically
Chick quite a
created
bit.
by fans and former fans, and
And
these follow
I
a
still like
similar
Nostalgia
pattern.
Critic.
They state that the
I just haven't seen him in, like, years, so I know, like, the clips get kind of, or the clipless reviews kind of suck. And
quality of his content
I
has
kind of stopped
diminished
around when he started doing
considerably,
that.
and while they hope he will one day return to making his old style of content, they believe this change unlikely. These critiques often read like eulogies, and from them it is clear that his reputation has turned from that of an amusing reviewer to a mentally unstable rambler. So who was Spoonie? Why was he so lauded? And how did he lose his fame?
Other than him, like, talking about being sick all the time, the main thing that I know about him is when he yells betrayal in a crowded room. But he was apparently one of the biggest creators
internet video
on the
media
site.
had grown in popularity both in terms of creation and viewership. Though consumer-grade video production tools were limited at the time, amateur producers would use their limited resources to create content centered around media, especially video
I think
games.
Down the Rabbit Hole did do, like, Fred, I think he did read through, like, whenever the change the channel stuff happened, because now Channel Awesome is broken up. Most of the creators are gone, and now it's Channel Awesome is just kind of Doug's thing, but there's, like, other people, but they're, like, friends with some of the old creators who actually stayed, but they had a whole, like, change the channel thing, and I think Fred, like, read through that document. But, I don't think, uh I don't think he ever made a video on it.
The most notable example was James Rolfe, later known as the Angry Video Game Nerd, who began creating videos in 2004,
I want to say that
playing an
he might even be
exaggeratedly
older
angry
than
character,
YouTube.
delivering harsh criticism for bad and sometimes obscure games released
I
on
will
the
say,
NES.
the nerd videos,
This
like,
came
hold
at a
up.
time when internet speeds were generally increasing, making
Like, I
video
keep
more
on going back to
accessible
those.
as
I'll
long as
like,
they were
sleep to
sufficiently
those.
compressed.
I
And
love,
in
like,
fact,
the
this
season-long
compression made the quality
marathons,
of
and
the
that's
recording
my
equipment
calming,
relatively less
relaxing
With no centralized
sleep
location to
videos.
host their content, these producers would purchase
As
their
he's, like,
own
screaming
internet
and
domains
pooping
and
on
upload
Bugs
videos
Bunny.
there, where they could be accessed with proprietary video players or downloaded. Knowledge of these sites spread by word of mouth and on internet forums, where they gained significant popularity. However, the perceived entrepreneurial opportunities were limited, and so these videos typically stayed in the realm of hobbyists. As these videos were growing their audience, a few web designers and programmers were creating video hosting sites where
I guess
users could
this
upload
was
their
before
content without the need for
Angry Video
purchasing
Game
or
was before
designing
YouTube,
their
I guess.
own website. For example, in February of 2005, YouTube was made public, and only 3 months later, in May,
How early
Blip.tv
then
was
would
released.
would
Over the
Nostalgia
next
Critic
2
be?
years, as these video hosting sites were being discovered, internet users would be inspired by content such as that of James Rolfe, and soon, they too were creating reviews of media that they perceived as being mediocre or poor, which they
Yeah.
would upload onto these more convenient services.
The time
It
of
was
the
in
angry
this wave
reviewers.
of content production that Noah Antweiler created
The golden
his
age of
first
content.
videos. On January 4th, 2007, Noah released his first video, a review of the game The Adventures of Bayou Billy for the NES, referring to himself as the Spoony One. The content was derivative of other contemporary bad game reviewers, a point he admits in the opening of the video.
I know there's a lot of guys out there doing
At least you're
video game
self-aware.
reviews like the Angry Video Game Nerd and RMake21. I love those guys to death, and I'm not necessarily trying to steal their thunder.
The core structure consists of himself improvising narration over footage of the game, interspersed with clips of himself talking
'Cause
or
I think-
miming playing.
So funkadelic.
There's also, with all the angry reviewers, it also used to... Skits were also a bigger thing back then. I guess that's also, like... I never really watched it, but my cousins would watch, like, Smosh, and I guess that was also a lot of skits. I feel like the skit genre of YouTube just isn't a thing as much as it used to be yet.
Billy's got two attacks, a punch and a kick. The punch being a short-range attack that doesn't hurt, and a kick, which is a slightly longer-range attack that doesn't hurt. He's got a...
This first video received significant attention at the time, and so he went on to produce more videos in a similar fashion, with what came to be his signature crude humor, hyperbolic rhetoric, and exaggerated demeanor.
Olive Kryn, a dwarf boots him in the shins, and he's dead. Now I'm running in another one of these draconians, the ones who keep
I do think Spoony was, like, one of their biggest, like, D&D guys.
There's no way to fight. Oh, he just...
In terms of, like, knowing, like, traditional
and I got
tabletop.
a brick dropped on me. Fuck you. Oh, now I've run into a cat.
He also would create videos featuring audio CDs, where he would listen to them and occasionally pause them to deliver commentary. The general production quality on these videos would vary, but as he created more, he would begin to borrow editing traits similar to those used by people producing similar content.
Hey, how in the hell do you get the game out of here?
In these videos, he would sometimes allude to certain facts about his life. He referred to himself as a, quote, psychological mess, and noted that he had depression, was jobless, and had been living in his parents' house for all 27 years of his life up to this point.
There's,
During
like...
2000...
Oh, he was 27? Wow. It's like a fine line where it's like, sure, your channel is like... It's like you can, like, share yourself however you want, I guess. But you probably don't want to overshare. Because then, one, people know your weaknesses and can mess with you. And 2, it kind of creates more parasocialism. And 3, I feel like that just also has you like stew in it a bit more if you're talking about your troubles. I don't know. But there's also like a degree of earnestness that can be in there too if you do share more about yourself. So it's a delicate balance, I guess.
2007, he created a 7-part review of the game Final Fantasy VIII, which grew his viewer base considerably. This series was released over the course of 6 months, from April to October, though he would later return to expand this review with 4 additional videos.
For those of you who can't speak Latin, the chorus is saying, real gay, sissy gay, 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 gay,
early
gay,
internet.
Gay, gay, sissy gay, gay, butt sex, astroglide, glory hole, ball.
Very early internet, for sure.
His popularity would earn him a place among a body of other well-known reviewers, a place that would also serve as a refuge for his content to protect him from the attack that was about to
Very
occur.
true, actually. Very, very true.
In early 2008, YouTube abruptly began suspending the accounts of numerous high-profile video creators, claiming that they were infringing upon copyright by including footage of movies and games. They also were flagged for having inappropriate content, though the definition of inappropriate seemed inconsistent. This was likely a move made by movie and game producers to prevent negative opinion about their work from spreading, as well as music licensors attempting to retain control.
The funny thing is, a lot of like the bad reviews made me want to watch the movie. Like that's why I wanted to see The Room. That's why I saw The Room. It's because of that. That's why I would need to see Neil Breen movies.
Of their intellectual property. This purge of content
the first DMCA war. It's really funny. In one of like Linkara's like story bits, because I was looking this over because it's like I remember this character existing, so I went and looked it up, and that character's backstory is his like universe collapsed because of like changes in copyright. Like that's how seriously they were taking this.
Highly visible, affecting some of the most popular creators on the platform. Noah was no exception to this problem. 3 of his videos had been struck by copyright claims, and his channel was clearly in jeopardy of being suspended entirely like the others. In order to continue safely releasing content, he created a video in May urging people to visit his website, spoonyexperiment.com, where he had subsequently been uploading his videos as an alternative platform.
Play it Bogart, suspended. Armic 21, gone, but not forgotten. And the latest casualty, the angry video game nerd, also suspended for various reasons. Now, a lot more. I'll say that again. If you want to find me, go to my website. I'm going to put the link up there again at the end of this video. If you like these videos,
I guess this is part of why they made that guy with the glasses, so that it would be like to try to protect themselves from copyright by hosting it on their own thing, but also having it so that you can discover other people.
Plus, I have those hosted on an account where I actually get paid if you watch them. I was thinking of leaving YouTube anyway, because I don't get paid here.
But
a lot of them used to use Blip before that died.
For long. Approximately a year prior, another content creator named Doug Walker had quickly found success reviewing older movies, such as the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films and Space Jam, under the moniker of The Nostalgia Critic. In light of the channel shutdowns on YouTube, Doug had moved away from the platform to release content solely on his own website, That Guy with the Glasses, in April of 2008, with
only
videos
on there
posted on blip.tv. Only 2
like,
months after Noah voiced his concerns
way
about
later
his channel being closed,
than this
he was
era.
invited to host his content on That Guy with the Glasses alongside the Nostalgia Critic, making him one of the first to join. He began by uploading some of his earlier reviews to the site, likely so they could reach a new audience and be safe in case his YouTube channel was taken down, but soon, his core content was exclusively being uploaded to That Guy with the Glasses and his personal website, consisting largely of edited reviews. By utilizing online advertising, the website was beginning to make significant amounts of money, enough so that when Noah lost his new job late that year, he opted not to look for another and instead devote himself full-time to producing videos. It was during this time that he met a woman named Scarlett, whom he would begin dating, and soon she would redesign his site and serve as webmaster while helping manage the forums. Over the course of 2008 and 2009, as That Guy with the Glasses videos gained increasing popularity, Noah would release some of his most beloved content while he improved his creation process, though it was still marked by a characteristic amateurishness which internet users found endearing or less important than the writing and acting.
Yeah,
he quickly expanded
I generally
to
find it
include
more
other forms
endearing
of content,
with the little skits
including
and stuff,
vlogs and
as long as they don't like
commentary-style
overstay
videos
their welcome.
reminiscent of Mystery Science Theater 3000. His riffing on Phantasmagoria 2 and Ripper proved particularly popular.
Like if you have like an ego
Do you
about
ever
it, then it sounds
sneak
fun.
into your boss's office and start just pawing through his photos?
You've got to stop it or I will. I'll kill you son of a bitch.
Nowadays, I guess the closest thing to angry
yes, the
reviewers I
Christmas
watch
party.
consistently is Red Letter
We
Media.
all have fond memories of that one. I have a photographic memory of all the times I've been beaten up.
However, his most appealing content remained his reviews, which would still be released on a semi-regular basis, sometimes less than 2 weeks apart. Eventually, the site grew so popular that Blip.tv made an advertising deal with YouTube, so videos on That Guy with the Glasses could appear on the platform again, returning their content to the place from which they had originally fled. As time went on and more reviewers were added to the site's cast, Noah would participate in crossover episodes, which quickly had become a tradition on That Guy with the Glasses, and he became one of the most prolific crossover reviewers, often at the expense of his own production cycle. On January 19th,
So I think Spoonie was called in a lot
he made his
because of
first
his
appearance
Dr.
on a comic
Insano
review
thing.
series entitled Atop the Fourth Wall, created by a man named Louis Lovehog, where he played Dr. Insano, a parody of the mad scientist trope who would eventually become an antagonist for Louis's character. Soon, Dr. Insano would make appearances in Noah's own work as a frequently recurring character and as a mascot. This was an early part of another trend for the site, where significant time in the videos was given over to skits, usually placed in the opening and closing of videos, and they helped to spread Noah's influence and raise his viewership even further. Noah's own videos, however, seemed to be mostly devoid of these skits and elongated cameo appearances, preferring to remain mostly dedicated to the central theme of his work, which helped him stand apart from the other creators on the site and exist slightly outside the group. But alongside this positive attention, the first signs of trouble were beginning to show. Throughout 2009, even as his popularity was growing, his attitude towards some of his viewers was becoming more antagonistic as he reacted strongly to negative criticism. The forums on his website became notorious for the way that less than favorable discussion of Noah would often result in a ban. In March of that year, he had created a Twitter account where he would sometimes react strongly to those who criticized him. In one tweet, referencing his forums, he mocked those critics, writing, quote, "Wah, Spoonie's being mean and angry again, and he's banning people. And he took my lolly. It's my site, ban meat. I'll do the fuck I want." Since Scarlett was often the one to issue these bans, she received much of the ire from the forums. Despite these issues, the discussion around Noah was still mostly positive.
Oh, I just remembered a lot more about Spoonie lore that I forgot about.
The online publication Mashable revealed its Open Web Award
I forgot
winners,
why he left.
which conducted
Now
online polls to select exemplary users of social media. Of the 50 awards, Noah won Funniest Person to Follow, but his reception was lukewarm. He wrote, quote, "I debated with myself a long time on whether or not to post anything about this matter. I thought I might be feeding the trolls, but I think this needs to be addressed. First of all, thank you all for the extraordinary support and well wishes this year that helped me to win the Open Web Award for Funniest Person of the Year.
What happens with like these internet awards? There's too much content.
By your support, and hope that I'll continue.
How do people vote on these? Who decides
this? The celebration is tainted a great deal for me because of a few bad eggs.
I don't understand that with like the streamings and stuff.
Cruel and hateful things on the blog and on the forums. I'm very upset right now.
Because like the internet's so
fragmented.
fragmented.
The comments lately have left me completely
It's
outraged.
just so many different
I've
audiences.
taken down
It doesn't
my
seem
latest video,
unless you're
and I
being
don't
like
intend
super
to remake
specialized.
it, because honestly, I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like being funny, and you don't want to see me in front of the camera right now. These wanton emotional attacks on hard-working, innocent people have to stop. I don't mind if you come after me. In a way, I open myself up for it. I'd prefer if you didn't insult me, of course, but I can take it. Where I draw the line is when you make hateful, ignorant comments about my friends, family, and loved ones.
I guess.
These belligerent,
just pure
crude
views.
comments have caused more harm than you know. It's not fair. It's not warranted. There's
Because
no call to ever say such awful
I don't know,
things to
'cause if you're
anyone,
saying, like,
and I'm tired of it. And I know that I'm
one of
only
like the
addressing
guys
a
who actually
scant
does like
few
the
people
high
out
quality
there. I have thousands
documentaries
and thousands
versus
of
like
fans, almost
a
all
let's
of whom
player.
are astoundingly
Those are
generous,
very different
kind,
types
and
of
supportive.
content.
I know you're good
Sure, the
people,
same people
and I
might
never
watch
get
them
to thank
sometimes.
these fans enough. It sucks that I have to stop
But
the
it appeals
presses, drag the
to
whole party
different
down, and
groups, I
give
guess.
these cowards the attention they don't deserve.
So I don't understand
Unquote.
grading them
During
all the same.
2009, Noah was beginning to diversify his content. In December of that year, he had begun a series entitled Wrestle Wrestle, where he talked in long-form, unedited videos about pro wrestling.
Why is it that whenever pro wrestling is involved, like, horrible things happen? Like, like once he started like the wrestling things, it seemed like he was having like problems with his audience and stuff. And then meanwhile over here, DSP, the one who will outlive us all, content creators, then he's he spent like thousands and like tens of thousands of dollars on a WWE gotcha game. Just weird that WWE is involved in like so much weird shit. If it's a public vote, then whoever has the best bot and avoiding detection definitely wins. Fair enough, yeah.
Especially TNA and WWE.
I just think those online
These
award
rants would
things
consist
are
largely
dumb.
of complaints about
Just
the most
inherently.
recent events, often being shouted emphatically and passionately.
We're watching because it tells a story.
I think I might know
We'd like to pretend
who that is, maybe.
We'd like
I
to
think I do.
escape for a little bit. But you might as well just... You're not even trying, are you?
These videos would range from half an hour in length to an hour and a half.
Wow.
It's time for the Spoony One! Wrestling Show!
Huh.
The popularity of these videos was far below that of his regular content, and people complained that he was beginning to create projects that distracted him from producing his core
Fair enough.
reviews. To help mitigate backlash, he gave this series its own website in August of 2010. One month later, Noah announced a contest based on his popular reviews of the Ultima series.
This is
In
like the
Ultima
only
3,
videos that I've
one
seen
enemy
from
was
him.
apparently the ground and the grass, which would spring up and attack the player, and so he put out a call for people to make short films based on the concept of fighting grass. How he handled this contest, however, was controversial. The prize for the contest was an autographed picture of himself, a fact that reflected his growing ego. Once the entries were given, he would re-upload them and collect the ad revenue. Any negative discussion of this was censored on his forums, but even so, this seemed largely not to bother his viewers. This contest was remarkably popular. Over 140 different videos were submitted by people eager to receive Noah's attention, and if the original video creators had qualms with Noah's handling of their content, it didn't show online. Soon afterwards, however, Noah's relationship with Scarlett ended. The details of the breakup are uncertain, but it appears that she was the one to break up with Noah, and he would later refer to her in an unfavorable way, even as she maintained her relationship with other That Guy with the Glasses creators. Despite this setback, Noah was becoming a regular at gaming and nerd culture events and conventions, including the Electronic Entertainment Expo,
that
the
I know
Screw Attack Gaming Convention,
him about,
and the Penny Arcade
that I
Expo,
associate
among
with him the
numerous
most.
smaller ones, where he would often
It plays
speak
in my
at
head so
panels.
often.
It was also during this year that he started another series entitled
no, it's
Counter
not gonna show the
Monkey,
clip.
in which he recounted
Maybe
stories
later.
of tabletop role-playing sessions. While mostly unscripted and unedited, these proved remarkably popular, though still nowhere near as popular as his normal videos. 2011 went on smoothly for his content as it grew ever more popular and his goal of becoming a film actor and comedian came closer to realization. But very suddenly, this run of good fortune would end.
So many of them wanted to actually get into the industry, and I don't think any of them
On
did.
May 11th,
BRB,
2012,
I missed a message. I'm going to be right back. I think I have something for this. Give me... there we go. I'll be right back. Right back. I pressed the wrong button too. Shoot. Shoot. Let me go back. Sorry about that. I'll probably have to step away in a minute again, but it's fine.
Noah published a series of tweets to Jesu Otaku, another content creator on the website, which read in part,
And this
quote,
is another
"You know,
issue.
if things don't work out with you and Nash076, I'd be happy to chain you to a pipe in my
I think Nash does he does like an internet kind of news-ish show where he'll read like Florida Man type stories. And that shows so my innocence on so many topics. It was a bit much.
And love you. My way. My way of loving someone is dirty and painful and ends in tears.
Is this
He
really
apologized to
a
her
funny
shortly
joke?
after. While
Is this
this
a funny
tweet went
haha
mostly
joke?
unregarded for a month, it was referenced again by another person from the site by the name of Obscurus Lupa in an interaction between the two. Part of it reads with Lupa saying, quote, "Seriously, I can't follow you anymore, dude." Noah antagonizes her by saying, "Aw, Obscurus Lupa hates me now too. Gonna have to bust out the Adele playlist for this breakup." Lupa replies by saying, "You joked about chaining Hope up in your basement and raping her. I got no sympathy for you."
Yeah, bit much,
This negative
bit much,
attention
bro.
was eventually made known by other creators on That Guy with the Glasses, then renamed to Channel Awesome. Noah grew passive-aggressive. He wrote, "Is there punishment harsh enough for scum as loathsome as me? I really don't know what else I need to do. I've apologized.
Bro,
I begged. Is it
don't
blood
interact.
you want? Tears? I could
You
rend
shouldn't.
my clothes
No,
asunder and wear
you're making it
sackcloth.
worse.
Flagellate
You're
myself
digging
with
a
a barbed
hole.
whip. I
Stop
can
digging
do
your
it. I
grave.
will.
Stop
I mean,
it.
God, I made a bad joke. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Dude.
Jesu Otaku, Obscurus Lupa,
Just
I'm
let it
sorry
be.
already. Please, take my penis. Burn it. I'm worse than Hitler. I should roast
Oh
in
my
hell if there was a
gosh,
pit deep enough
dude,
for
this
my
isn't
sin.
funny.
I beg
This
forgiveness,
is sad.
knowing full well I wouldn't be
This
worth
is just
pissing on
sad.
if my face were on fire. In response, Noah was given a 3-week suspension from Channel Awesome. While
Dude.
some accused Obscurus Lupa of dredging up a tweet made a month prior to cause drama,
Oh, it was a month
she
difference?
reinforced
Yeah,
her opinion
I guess
in a blog
so.
post entitled
I
"The
can see that
Uncomfortable
opinion.
Subject of Rape Jokes," where she states that there had been discomfort between her and Noah before. She wrote, quote, "Was I offended? Yes. Did I only say something a month later? Yes. And it doesn't matter. That doesn't change what it was, and I'm standing my ground on this. I don't care if the person who said it is popular or more funny than I am.
Well-
that doesn't make it right. It was a coworker and a friend. Was this the only thing that set me off? Absolutely not. Was this
I don't
the
know, to
reason
some
for
degree,
what
it's
eventually
like maybe
happened?
this should have been
No,
private.
but this
I can
is what my
understand
deal
that
was,
criticism.
and why I said what I said.
I don't
Somewhere
know
in Noah's rash of
about other
defensive
than that.
replies, he attacked one of the fans of another creator at Channel Awesome named Jason Pilara, who went by the name Lord Cat. Shortly
He's still
afterwards,
doing stuff.
on
I'm
June
not sure.
21st, 2012, Jason
I think
recorded
he keeps on
his
like
regular live
showing
talk
up
show
with
called
drama
Lord
stuff
Cat
and
Live,
trying to
and in the
insert
second
himself,
part,
but
he
I
talked
could be
extensively
thinking of someone
about
else.
his experience with and opinions of Noah.
I've worked with Noah before, just like I've worked with many people with That Guy with the Glasses. I've had a lot of respect for people with That Guy with the Glasses.
Fair enough. I imagine this is a very long complaint video.
I no longer respect Noah Antweiler. I used to respect him because I felt he put a lot of work into his videos.
Okay.
The man is possibly the single largest waste of talent I've seen in a very long time.
Interesting.
And I am
I guess
sitting here today
it's
telling
gonna be
you, Noah
somewhat true
Antweiler,
because I don't think he does
you need
anything
to
anymore,
give
or does very little.
You are the second most loathsome person I've ever had the displeasure of knowing. You shit
Ooh.
all over your fans, and then you shit on my fans. You think you're something, but you're a fucking nobody. You live out there in your fucking desert in the middle of nowhere, proclaiming you're
Where
going to
does
be
he-
this fucking actor somewhere, and you're too much of a bitch to move out to L.A. and follow your dreams.
Ooh.
You're too much of
Yikes.
a fucking pussy. You're a fucking coward. You're a loser.
I mean, he has a career though,
You're a loser.
and it does take time, especially if he's doing like the skits and the editing.
You're a fucking loser. You're lame. You got a small dick and you're fucking afraid of it.
Dude.
How about you act like a professional for once?
I mean, that wasn't very professional right there.
Fucking retard.
He
That
also
wasn't
blames
either.
Noah for ruining career opportunities for him.
But I think it's time the whole world, Spoonie, heard just how much of a fucking idiot you truly are.
Really?
You and that other idiot, Joe. When you were at E3 that one year, and you decided to go up and down the hallways screaming about XCOM's betrayal.
Oh
and
yeah,
Joe
I love this
decided
clip. This
to
is
ask
one of my
people,
favorite
"Can I
clips.
choke you on camera?"
Yeah. And the guy was there playing it real time.
This plays in my head like all the time.
And so I saw the footage, and there was one word searing through my mind, like bolts of fire, and that word: betrayal.
What?
Betrayal. Betrayed me. This game sucks. It is nothing to do with XCOM.
I love that clip.
Nothing.
That clip's great. I love this.
Nothing.
I love it.
I think this is the birth of Angry Spoonie.
Nothing to do with XCOM. Like the first thing they did, they were like, okay.
I mainly
here's
just remember
XCOM, and
the
it's gonna-
screaming betrayal part. I don't
it's
care
got
about the other
aliens,
parts.
And it's like, it's so
Guess what happened, Spoonie? Guess what fucking happened? The whole gaming industry turned its back on me. Not you, not Joe, not
This
Blister
sounds very-
Thumbs, me.
It sounds kind of dumb.
I went to GDC the following year, Spoonie.
I don't know
I
if
went
that's
to
true.
GDC the following year, and I had a chance to interview Notch, Mojang, specifications, Minecraft. Had a chance.
This was
fucking chance.
This
He
was
was
quite a
hot
while
then.
ago.
That was going
so
to be
yeah.
huge for This Week in Games. That was going to be huge for the stream. It was going to be amazing. And you know what happened? The representative at Mojang caught wind that we were going to interview Notch. And he stepped in. And he said, "Oh, I've heard of you. You're with that guy with the glasses. You're with
explains
Blister Thumbs." And I tried to tell
why
him,
he's
"No,
so
I'm not."
angry.
But he said my name was associated with them.
Looks
And
like
heard what
he
you
cost
did.
him a very big opportunity.
Making a fucking jackass of yourself at E3. You fucking moron. So they shot it down.
Really?
And then word spread at GDC. "Oh, I heard about you. You were the guy at E3. They thought I was the guy at E3 making a jackass of everyone.
Huh?
I was there trying to be a legitimate member of the
That
business
sounds
of the
weird.
gaming industry, and I've worked my ass off to separate myself from you. Every time. You just don't get it. Every single fucking time. You act like a complete fucking jackass. It has repercussions for everyone you're associated with. And you
How
don't
often does
give
this
a
actually
shit.
happen though?
The day after Jason's stream, on June 22nd, an announcement was made on the Channel Awesome website. It reads
And he
in
got
part,
fired.
quote, "After recent events, Noah, the Spoonie One Antweiler, and Channel Awesome have decided to part ways. Noah has made it clear that he wishes to pursue a course that is different from our own. We feel that with these different aims, it is better for Noah to be free to pursue his own
Lord
goals
Cat, I don't
unhindered
think
by
is
us."
handling it very
Unquote.
well, at least
4
not
days
in that
later,
clip.
on June 26th, Noah revealed that he had been diagnosed with bipolar II disorder, which compounded upon his already present heart troubles. On September 12th, less than 3 months
Ugh.
later, he spoke about his departure in a commentary track for the Channel Awesome film To Boldly Flee, in which he had
I
taken
hate
part.
To Boldly Flee. It's so boring.
suppose
So
that I
freaking boring.
should address the pink elephant in the room by talking about my departure from Channel Awesome.
I like Suburban Nights though,
Something
because
that
I'm dumb.
has been kept mostly
Dumb
under
little
wraps,
me love that movie.
mostly because there were some bad situations.
Mostly just for like
that stemmed
a
from it.
handful of decent jokes.
The people
in my mind,
kind of
at
settled on
least.
the theory that Lupa got me fired somehow for making a joke on Twitter. I handled it very poorly. Knowing me, I'm the kind of guy who likes to touch raw nerves, and so naturally I started poking
Fair
sticks
enough.
at, Lupa, so to speak. That was not what got me quote-unquote fired, and it didn't really stem, my departure. It wasn't any...
How
it wasn't
often does
like
the
that. It
wannabe
didn't
shock
help,
jock thing just
but that
backfire
wasn't why.
horribly?
I guess the first thing I would talk about is there's kind
I
of
feel
a
like it happens a
financial
lot.
aspect to this, and in many ways I just didn't need Channel Awesome anymore. I just didn't, in the sense that it was a really one-sided relationship. But also, on another respect, their website is so poorly designed. It
Fair
really
enough,
is
actually.
atrocious. My videos are so buried beneath a nest of, layered, rooted menus that if you wanted to find my stuff, I think I'm under like Blistered Thumbs, Side Critics, and like I'm so far buried you can't see what I'm doing. I'm one of the more popular guys on
I agree
that
with
site.
what you're saying over there.
And the reason there were hurt feelings was because of the nutso situation on Twitter, where I really did start acting like a bastard and started like really slacking people online. You can't go doing that and not expect repercussions. And so, know, that kind of spurred the discussion on where I wanted to go and how much I was willing to. Basically, they talked to me and they said, you know, you can't be this way online.
I mean, if they're trying to be a professional company, definitely.
You know, I can say what I want. And so that was my being a bitch. But they were like, you know, you represent the company now.
Yeah, it's very true.
We can't have somebody representing the company if they're going to act like this. And I go, fair enough. You know, I said fair enough. I want to be me. I want to say what I want to say, even if that shit is offensive. And so, you know, even the situation with Lupa, I mean, it was the kind of thing where
I somewhat get that. I guess if it was a funny joke, I'd stand behind him a little bit more, but it's like I don't even know what the point of the struggle cuddle joke was at that point. But
I wasn't really sorry for what I said. I was sorry the situation
maybe there's more
turned so
context
ugly,
that I haven't seen.
You know, it wasn't
in
even
anything
the
else.
kind of joke that everyone thought it was the kind of joke. But even so, if it was inappropriate, so what? You know, it's not the there was a fair amount of hypocrisy.
Noah's departure from Channel Awesome didn't stop him from publishing videos, and he still would do crossovers with the members, especially Lewis. He continued to release on a fairly regular basis on his website and his YouTube channel. Shortly afterward, he began dating a woman named April, and by February she had appeared in a vlog-style video with him, reviewing food items from a Japanese supermarket.
Wait, I thought that she's the... Wait, no, that's a different one. Okay, I
have to carefully
I confused
and
then they...
Scarlet and April in my mind
However,
somehow.
by 2013, the release of his core content had slowed to a trickle. Throughout the year, he only released 11 reviews in his normal format, which was approximately half the number of releases compared to 2011, a concerning metric when his release schedule was already slower than that of other contemporaries.
Unless if you're like super documentarian, you're gonna drop a banger like every time. I think generally the key to YouTube is consistency. At least from everything that I've seen. Because otherwise, if you're not putting stuff out on like a decently consistent basis, then people will kind of forget about you and find someone else who fills that niche.
Creators. He still had significant clout in the gaming community, however, and he would continue to speak at conventions and even conduct an interview with Richard Garriott, one of the leads for the Ultima games. Despite the slower release schedule, Noah had become remarkably
Lord British
active on
or something?
Twitter, chronicling much of his
I
life
think it was
and
a
his thoughts
Kickstarter
on social
scam
media.
or something.
He became known for his strong emotional
Vaguely remember seeing that on
responses to
Kira.
provocation. For example, on July 18th, 2013, when some people disagreed with his middling reception of Man of Steel, he wrote, "What would have made you happy? Ecstatic, high-speed masturbation on the movie poster? Self-flagellation? You wanted an opinion." But his largest change wouldn't come until the following year.
Don't
on
argue
April
with
14th,
them.
2014,
Makes you look like
Noah
a jackass.
opened a Patreon campaign where viewers could pledge monthly amounts to support him in exchange for rewards. Some of these included
Most
an
of those,
autographed
like,
photo at $15,
complaining about something truly,
a
truly
personalized
dumb.
voicemail message at $25, and a personalized movie riff video at $50. The strangest, however, was the $100 reward tier, the opportunity to watch a live-streamed session of Cards Against Humanity. Soon after launch, this Patreon campaign was a massive
I mean, if you could
success.
play it with
While
him,
the
that's
records
different.
For the first 11 months appear to be lost, it's known
I can
that
see like the
after only
parasocial.
6 months,
Oh yeah,
he was
I want
receiving
to hang out with
$5,000
my
a month on it. This
my
amount
internet
was a
bud,
threshold
but-
for him to create a feature-length movie.
I just
but
watch
when
it.
he made a video to announce it, he seemed more concerned than elated.
Somehow, you guys
I wonder
have
what the
reached
movie would even be.
the Patreon goal where it was listed that I would start work on a movie.
Would it be his own universe
And
thing?
I was just, I was
Or just like a
blown
movie
away
in
by
general?
this. I didn't really envision like an in-character spoony movie when I was thinking of a movie, and hopefully that wasn't misleading. Maybe it was, and I'm not ruling it out. Maybe you guys would enjoy seeing something that was something that I wrote and produced, especially since we're talking about like where in continuity this falls. I don't know. But it's one of the ideas that I might start kicking around. When will you see results?
Probably should have just made a movie that not of his character. At least
Once I
make
kinda get an
something,
idea
anything.
Of, what kind of movie I
Spoilers,
wanna do,
there's
I
no
have to
movie.
get, an idea of what my limits on budget are.
The reception to this announcement was so negative that he disabled ratings and comments. One comment from a
Bruh.
disappointed fan reads so: "Well, it's happened. Donations aimed towards helping someone make internet reviews have now officially given them an excuse to make less reviews. In fact, the movie is a disastrous idea. It'll never happen, and Spoonie knows it'll never happen." Another wrote, "I have taken my Patreon away because I have lost faith in your ability to deliver any semblance of consistent quality content. I haven't seen an increase in the quality of your videos. In fact, most videos are now vlogs that have basically no editing. And even then, the wrestling videos are completely unintelligible to anyone who hasn't grown up watching wrestling. And the Patreon goals? What happened to those? Are you telling me that you can't edit together a 3-hour Cards Against Humanity for the people who are personally paying for your livelihood? Are you telling me you can't piece together a single DVD together in almost 6 months? All of this without providing any semblance of updates or feedback?"
How much was he earning on
3
Patreon
months
again?
of that year went without normal
2,000
review
a month?
videos, though he continued with other, less scripted content. This, however, was not enough to satiate his fans, and his Patreon began to steadily decline. What's more, people were growing more critical in the comments sections of his videos, but these appear to have been lost. This is because, in response to the negative criticism, he closed the comments on most of his videos on January 8, 2015. He would only release one review that year, divided into 2 parts. In May, he began irregularly live-streaming games, following in the trend of other content creators of the time, but the views on these would drop off as the months passed, and they would quickly cease to receive more than 10,000 total views. During these, he would sometimes grow angry at his viewers in the chat. By June of 2015, monthly pledges had dropped from $5,000 a month to $4,000. By the end of that year, it had plummeted to $2,500. His infrequent uploads also lost him much of his viewer base, and even when he uploaded full reviews, they would receive far less attention. Despite his decreasing viewer base, however, he would again begin to
giving him
receive
anything,
attention,
though, was,
not for
I
the
guess,
reasons that he may
interesting.
have been expecting. Noah had become more active on Twitter as the months had dragged on, even as his release schedule grew ever more protracted.
That's 2016
he had become
too.
known for feuding with others, including content creators, though he would occasionally mention that he was working on reviews that would, quote, not pan out. However, in mid-2016, as Donald Trump was emerging as the most likely Republican presidential candidate,
Another
he began
Trump
tweeting
derangement
even more
syndrome.
frequently, railing against him and his followers.
No matter
He would
what you
soon
think
be
of Trump,
releasing
I
dozens
don't
of
think
tweets
that
throughout every
making
day,
your whole
and he grew
personality
even more
hating him
angry
is a
when
good
Trump
thing.
was elected, growing more active on Twitter even as his content production reduced, to the point that there was a 6-month gap in any content at all, from January to July of 2017. Unsurprisingly, his Patreon continued to slide downward. By 2017, he was making approximately $1,000 a month. This number was nearly halved by July. He began complaining about not being able to pay bills or the mortgage on his new house, which he had recently bought with April, but even so, no edited videos were produced through the entirety of 2017. By this point, he also had stopped seeing his psychiatrist. In May, someone alerted Noah to the fact that someone had been placing banner ads on his website, teasing him over his lack of content production.
Really?
In response, he removed all of his banner ads on May 30th. His return...
None of these politicians will change any of our lives significantly, and that won't harm it unless we allow them to. Mostly. And then it's mainly more, like, the president isn't as big of a thing as like, the party. It's more about, like, Senate and Congress, and honestly, I care more about, like, local. Just don't screw up my town, I guess.
In July of 2017,
the president's not
only
going to change, like,
included his live streams.
everything.
Though these streams
There's
were one
checks
of
and
his
balances.
last sources of income, he was doing
We've got a
them
good
far
system.
less frequently, with no
It's not
more
perfect,
than 4 in a
but
month through the rest
helps
of
a
the
bit.
year and into 2018.
We need term limits,
This
though.
degradation would soon reach its apex. On January 14th, 2018, Noah's Twitter account was suspended after
Yeah, no,
he made
Supreme
a
Court's
comment
important.
reading, "Let this be an important lesson."
And technically, like,
Your
the president has, like, some influence on that, but then also, Congress will approves it or not. So, again, checks and balances, all the type of
Insurance
stuff.
doesn't give a piss whether or not I kill myself or how many people I
Ooh.
take down with me. Neither
Dude,
this
no,
comment nor
don't
his
say that.
suspension was surprising, as he had been suspended only a few months prior, but as the days passed, people began to realize that this suspension may be permanent. As of the production of this video, the account is still suspended, with his tweets only surviving as screenshots. 1 month later, on February 16th, his forums also went offline. One viewer of his expressed the belief that this was due to an update on his personal homepage, which was incompatible with his forums. These forums, as of production, are also still defunct. The website itself has numerous non-functional elements, including a broken search bar, but the links to Noah's Amazon wishlist, April's Etsy store, a donation button, and the link to Noah's Patreon are still at the top of the site. With
Well, I
Noah's
guess the most
chief
important
methods of
stuff is
communication with
available.
the outside world
At least
cut
to
off,
him.
his hopeful viewers are left in limbo while his finances and apparently his mental state continue to degrade, with few answers to any of his fans' questions.
I
While a few
wonder.
hold out hope that he
I
will
hope that there's
return to making
updates
content,
in
almost
the
all have
thing, because I
abandoned
haven't
it. His
in
YouTube
the comment
subscriber
section,
count continues to hover
because I haven't
around
heard anything
115,000,
from him in like forever.
though less than a tenth of these subscribers seem to be watching any of his new content. No word on the progress of the Spoonie movie has been given for years. He now serves as an example to other content creators about how fame and viewership on the internet can be so powerful, but also how the goodwill of that viewership must not be taken for granted if one chooses to linger in the online space.
Yeah. Yeah. Mostly just mostly kind of sad. Has there been like, let's see what the newest is. Maybe there's actually been some kind of update. Oh yeah, there was this joke about Won but not forgotten that people would somewhat harass him with because his brother was a cop and like he shot like a narco or something. So if you mentioned that to Noah, he'd freak out because of the reference to his brother. Yeah. Mm, seems like yeah, it seems like there's no real updates. I'm assuming he's just still spiraling. That's kind of sad. Let me see. This is Spoonie. Does he even have a channel anymore? Okay, he does. Wow. This can't be. This can this be like his actual? Maybe. Huh. It's weird. Maybe that was just an archiver. Does he have like an active channel anymore? Or is it all just gone? It might just all be gone. Oh, wait, maybe? Okay, I think this is actually him. Yeah, no, he's definitely it's still very sporadic. Doesn't look like too much going on with him. So that's unfortunate. It's sorry this was another kind of haphazard stream. I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to do this. Because I want to talk about stuff that I'm interested in. But I also don't want to like just like because I want to show you stuff that I think is cool. But I also want to make sure that I can like talk about it and like add to it and not just be like, "Oh, isn't this cool?" and just make faces because I feel like that's boring. So I need to figure out what the right type of content that's the mixture of where I can actually add something to it and is just like fun on its own at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, I guess. That's why I think that like webcomics and stuff is good to talk about because I kind of have to read it and all that type of stuff, and it gives me a lot of time to think in between for the jokes. I don't know. Things to think about. I'm still experimenting. Any critiques, just let me know. I'll put this on the VOD, the unedited VOD thing. I might put up some highlights. I'm not sure. I need to put up a highlight from the other day because I think the credit score, the 440 credit score was pretty funny. So I'm got that mostly edited together. I just need I'm putting together like an intro outro thing that I'm trying to figure out. But thank you for giving me another shot. These are still a work in progress. I'm working on getting better. Thanks for your patience. I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you next time. Friday is another Caleb review, so that's exciting. And then Saturday I'll probably do Chick Tracks because I've been wanting to talk about those for a while, so I'll probably do Chick Tracks. So again, thank you. Goodbye. Have a good day.